Today's game is brought to you by Blue Rock Energy. Join the Bills and power up with Blue Rock Energy. By Connors and Ferris, workers' comp attorneys, committed to serving you. By Snapple, all natural Snapple made from the best stuff on earth. By ECMC, go where the Bills go. Visit ecmc.edu. And by Salins, official hot dog and deli meat of the Buffalo Bills. A beautiful sunny day here in America's heartland as Lucas Oil Stadium, the roof is open and the sunshine is shining down onto the field as the Bills get ready to open the 2013 preseason here in Indianapolis. A lot of change for the Bills in the offseason. The main focus today on Doug Marrone, the new head coach.
Yeah, and he's no stranger to the sideline, and this is his first live action game, although it is a preseason game, as head coach. And you look across the field at Chuck Pagano, a guy who it's hard to root against for the Indianapolis Colts. As we all know, leukemia last year has kept him out of 13 football games, came back to a team that had made the playoffs with a rookie at quarterback in Andrew Luck. But Bills fans will have not a hard time cheering against him today.
No, not at all. And Bills fans, I tell you what, it's time to get excited. I have a feeling on this. I've seen a lot of this now. Done this for the last 6 years, Steve, and I'm more excited about this group that they've assembled here. And I'm not just talking the players, but the management, the coaching staff, and the way things are being done reminds me of how they were done back when I was here. And you know what happened back in those days.
Well, there's a lot of similarities. New general manager, new head coach. You got a quarterback that people are excited about. A defense with some really talented guys up front. No question, it's a lot of new things to look at in Buffalo.
Colts win the toss, and they elect to receive. Dustin Hopkins' kick goes through the end zone, so Cassius Vaughn has no chance to return it. Colts start out on offense, and Andrew Luck, their quarterback last year, set a rookie record for the most yards, had 65 plays of 20 yards or more, and led the Colts to an 11-5 record and a playoff berth in his rookie season.
Yeah, it was one of the great rookie seasons of all time for a quarterback, and you really got to tip your hat to him. You hear about great quarterbacks coming out every year in the draft, but Andrew Luck is one of those guys that they were right about.
Vic Ballard and the lone back behind him, toss outside quickly to Reggie Wayne, makes the first grab, close to a first down, depending on where they mark. Actually, they're going to give him 5 yards on this one. The Colts offense up front, Anthony Costanzo, Donald Thomas, Samson Satelli, Mike McGlynn, and Gosder Sherilis over from the Lions. Backs and receivers for the Colts. Vic Ballard in the backfield. Stanley Havili comes over to play some fullback. Kobe Fleener, the tight end. Reggie Wayne and Darius Hayward-Bay, the receivers. 2nd and 5. Handoff, Ballard off the right side, finds his seam and gets the first down after a gain of 6. Stephon Gilmore makes the tackle. Now time to look at the Buffalo Bills starting defense is brought to you by Tim Hortons, Alex Carrington, Marcel Darius, Kyle Williams, and Mario Williams. Up front, linebackers, Manny Lawson picked up in free agency, Kiko Alonso, a draft pick, and Nigel Bradham. In the backfield, Ron Brooks and Stephon Gilmore. The corners, Aaron Williams and Denoris Searcy, are manning the safety spots. 1st and 10 from the 31. Little misdirection. Trapped in the backfield is Ballard. He goes nowhere. He'll lose a couple yards. Kiko Alonso shows up to finish the play off for the Bills. Had a little help. Manny Lawson was the guy who initially penetrated to create the problems.
And Manny Lawson, 91, coming off. He makes the dive. Can't get him, and then it's just a rallying point. One of the things when you watch this team practice in the preseason and in training camp over in Rochester, these linebackers for the Bills are way more athletic and way faster than they were a year ago. It's a whole new revamped team of guys back there, and they really fly to the football.
2nd and 11, Luck throws it underneath, hits his receiver, T.Y. Hilton. But he'll come up a couple yards shy of the first down with Ron Brooks making the play.
Ron Brooks getting the start today as Leotis McKelvin is not suited up. McKelvin's been working in that number 1 spot on the other side from Stephon Gilmore. And Brooks getting the look there, not only as the second corner today, but when the regular season starts, if Leotis McKelvin is the number 2 cornerback, Brooks may be the nickel back, which is a huge role in today's NFL.
Third and short, play action. Luck with pressure, cannot complete this one, and the Bills will force a punt. Reggie Wayne, the intended receiver, Stephon Gilmore with the tight coverage.
Yeah, and Kiko Alonso came up on a delayed blitz. Watch him, there he is. Look how fast he gets up the field, and Andrew Luck looked at him, looked back to the receiver, and by the time he looked back to make sure he could get rid of it, Alonso was right on top of him. Great speed coming right up the middle from the Bills draft pick.
Robert Woods back to receive the Pat McAfee punt. Good snap. McAfee gets it away, high kick. Driving Woods inside his own 10 near the 5-yard line. He drops the football, picks it back up, and is able to come up with it. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, the Bills double team down at the bottom of your screen hit the gunner when he was out of bounds, which is an illegal play. You can push him out of bounds, but you can't go after him out there, and that's what happened.
57-yard punt for McAfee, no return by Woods.
And you'll see right here as he goes out of bounds, that's legal, and right there you can't go back out of bounds. Now the flag was already down because they had hit him once out of bounds before that. But that first hit, pushing him out of bounds, wasn't illegal.
Personal foul. Number 88 of the receiving team went out of bounds and hit a defensive player out of bounds, or kicking player out of bounds. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Penalty on Marquise Goodwin, the rookie, getting a little too after it over there on the sideline, but the Bills will get the ball back when we come back after this network timeout. No score here at the Lucas Oil Dome as the Bills will get the ball on offense. Let's take a look at their starting offensive line. Tim Hortons brings it to you. Cordy Glenn, Colin Brown, Eric Wood, Craig Urbick, and Eric Pears are the guys up front. In the backfield, C.J. Spiller at the running back, Frank Summers the fullback, Lee Smith at tight end, Woods and Graham line up as receivers, and E.J. Manuel will take his first snap in preseason as a Buffalo Bill. Hands it off, cut back. Spiller finds a hole, works it back outside. He's got some room up close to the 20-yard line. They push him out right at the 20. A gain of 17 yards. T.J. Graham throws a nice block to allow Spiller to get the edge.
Well, he comes off, and it's a cutback. He's going to move this way and come back this way, right back outside. And right there is why C.J. Spiller is so effective. He pulls up into the hole, backs out, and gets to the edge faster than they can react.
Similar type play, and here he is out to the right side. Another cutback by Spiller. He rips off another 15 yards. 2 carries, 32 yards already for C.J. Spiller in 2 plays.
And it looks like an identical play, although the fullback takes you to the football as the big guy Frank Summers gets out in front of Spiller and kicks the end down, keeps the first defender off of Spiller and gives him room to run.
The play action pass, Spiller won't get anywhere this time. Give him a yard off to the left side as the Colts were not fooled by that little pass fake draw.
Yeah, well, after 2 plays like they just saw, you know Spiller's going to get some attention. 32 yards in 2 plays. And as the Bills go no huddle, you see they line up E.J. Manuel marking the formation and the play, and they're ready to snap it.
2nd and 9, going fast, play action. Manuel dumps it over the middle, incomplete. Wasn't sure who he was going to. It ended up Woods in the deeper route. Take a look at our ECMC keys to the game. These are from Coach Marone. Talked to him. He said, hey, we got to focus on us, win the turnover battle. And at the end he said, hey, you're keeping score, you might as well win.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a little more nonchalant. He didn't sound as nonchalant as that makes it sound.
Yeah. He got a little fire in that.
He wants to win a little bit more than say, maybe we might as well.
3rd and 9. Screen. Good grab there by Freddie Jackson, but the Colts read that one, showed up in a hurry to make the play. After a loss of 5 on the play, it was Cavell Connor doing the business.
Yeah, the Bills' offensive line. Colin Brown's going to get out there, and they just can't get there before the linebacker, Cavell Connor, smells out that screen and gets outside. The offensive line of the Bills a little late getting there, and the ball just wasn't timed. As a great play by Connor on a screen pass, well read.
Sean Powell on the punt. T.Y. Hilton deep to receive for the Colts. High floating kick. Hilton at his own 15. Cuts back up the middle. Comes back the other way. Contained, gets lost, and he gets it up to the 31-yard line. Working on the outside, Garrison Sanborn, the long snapper for the Bills, makes the tackle. A 55-yard punt, 16-yard return. And the Colts, with Andrew Luck, will have the ball when we come back after this network timeout. No score as the Bills are taking on the Indianapolis Colts here in the NFL preseason. Week 1, 10-10 left here in the first quarter. Teams have exchanged punts. Both defenses not looking too shabby so far. We see a few bursts, a couple of nice runs from C.J. Spiller. As now the Bills defense will get another crack on it. Gave up one first down in the initial drive and then forced the punt.
Andrew Luck still in the football game, and you think about the Colts situation. No question Andrew Luck had a tremendous season. You wonder how long they'll let him play in this game, but then you look at their backup, Matt Hasselbeck, who's an incredibly long-toothed veteran. Don't want him in there too much either.
Little bootleg, and it ends up open. Kobe Fleener with the grab after a gain of 13. As Luck shows you the mobility on the bootleg.
Well, so much of what a quarterback is asked to do in the NFL, more so than any point ever in history, all these guys are asked to roll out and throw the football on the move. They're designed plays, designed to get the quarterback out of the pocket. Offensive coordinators are realizing how much pressure that puts a defense on, and they're asking their quarterbacks to do it. They used to never do that, hardly ever, and now everybody does it, and it's happened within the last 5-6 years.
1st and 10. And Luck is just run over by Mario Williams. Looked like the Colts didn't get off on the snap count properly. A loss of 10 on the play on the sack by Williams.
Anthony Costanzo, the left tackle for the Colts, looked pretty slow on this one right here. Look at that. He was late getting off the ball, and you don't want to be late off the ball against Mario Williams.
That was a snap count snafu for the Colts offense. Half of them went, half of them did not. And Mario Williams, he went when the ball moved like you want to do on the defensive line. He gets the sack as 2nd and long shows up here. Let's call it 2nd and 20. Draw play. Kicking out to the left side with Vic Ballard. Ballard gets the edge before he is tracked down and knocked out of bounds after a gain of 11 by Nigel Bradham.
And now there's a late flag for some reason, and they're going to say Chuck Pagano thinks it's against the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what it was.
Ballard showed you some explosiveness to the
Well,
outside.
they had the right play called for the right
After the play is over,
defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 33 of the defense. Tony, 15 yards adding the end of the play. First down.
Ron Brooks, guilty on that. The second-year man out of LSU, a 4th-round draft pick for the Bills last season.
That's on it. You can't do that, whether it's the regular season or the preseason. That was a drive that was stopped, and now it's a first down inside your 40-yard line because you were taunting in a preseason game.
It makes no sense, and I'm sure Brooks will hear about that. So it puts the Colts into Bills territory now, snapping from the 38-yard line and movement up front before the snap.
And this is going to be off on the offense, yeah.
Number 39 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Yeah, Stanley Havili, the fullback, was just twitching in the backfield. He
must have been coming up on an ISO, getting ready to hit one of them linebackers.
Well, yeah,
that'll make a fullback
there
nervous.
You see, and that's all it takes. Now, the defense can jump around all they want, but the offensive backfield cannot move, particularly right before the snap, and that's the penalty.
Havili came over in a trade with Philadelphia as the Colts try to add a fullback to their arsenal. After the penalty, brings up a 3rd down now and 14. Luck, short over the outside, incomplete, just overthrows Reggie Wayne to force 4th down with the coverage coming from Aaron Williams, who makes the transition from corner to safety this year.
Yeah, this will be 3rd down coming up.
Man, my eyes are getting old. I can't see the
Well, the
markers
games
up
are
there.
rumor. We're so high in the stadium, it's hard to see. But one of the things that you're noticing about the Colts that you haven't seen in the past, they're doing a lot of two tight end and a lot of two-back offense. Now, you can say, yeah, it's the first preseason game, but there's been a lot of rhetoric coming out of the Colts camp about their desire to be more physical and to add a more power running game to their arsenal, and we're seeing evidence of it in this first preseason game.
2nd and 15, play action, wide open over the middle. Luck finds Kobe Fleener. Fleener makes a man miss. Ball come out, and it looks like the Bills have recovered it. Buffalo football at the 21.
It is a fumble, and that's an enormous play.
Cersei came up with the ball, and I couldn't see who made the big hit, but somebody hit Fleener.
Kiko Alonso came in late, I think, to force this. Now there you see Cersei staying with it. Somebody lays a lick right there. Boom. That's Brian Scott, and I think that's Brooks, who just got the penalty, who forced the fumble. Great play by the Bills defense. 3 guys rallying to the football, forces the turnover.
And we will see E.J. Manuel take control again when we come back. No score in the first. Here in Indianapolis is the Bills and Colts hooking up for the opener for both teams in the preseason. 7:40 to go. There's the fumble forced on that last play by Ron Brooks.
Yes, huge plus play on that drive and a huge minus play on that drive for Brooks. Great comeback and great hit on Fleener to force that fumble, stopping not only the big play but getting the football back for the offense and taking the Colts out of an opportunity to score.
And
that's an enormous play.
And making up for that 15-yard penalty he had earlier in the drive. So the Bills take over after the turnover. 1st and 10 from their own 21. Emmanuel hands it off to the outside. C.J. Spiller, who's having a decent little afternoon, picks up 4 going to the left side. Spiller has been outstanding thus far in this ballgame, Steve.
Yeah, and it started inside the 5-yard line on the first play when Spiller took the handoff and cut back, stuck his nose into the line of scrimmage, looked like he was going to stop short, and then bounced it to the outside for a long gain, and then the next play did the same thing, almost on an identical play.
4 carries for 37 yards for Spiller, who drops the football, and it looks like the Colts have recovered it. Don't know if he got the handoff cleanly from E.J. Manuel. Abreu Franklin comes up with the fumble recovery.
It looked like he got it in. E.J. got the football in there, and it just popped out. He never had control of it. You see E.J. lifting it over the top of Summers, the fullback, and he just never got into Spiller. And what running backs do is they're not looking at the handoff. The handoff's got to be automatic. He's watching where he's going to run the football before touching it. It's all feel. He doesn't look down at the football to get the handoff, and sometimes that's exactly what you got to do. It looked like E.J. was maybe a little high with the handoff, but you got to make it. I think I put that on C.J., not E.J.
Matt Hasselbeck comes into the game now for the Colts as they get the ball 1st and 10 at the Bills' 24-yard line. Hasselbeck takes the shot deep down the outside, overthrown. Good coverage over there as Darius Hayward-Bay tried to make the grab, and Ron Brooks had him covered up. There's a look at Hasselbeck. I want to go back to the Manuel fumble. I've never seen a quarterback lift the ball over top of a fullback when you have an ISO play. Usually you seat the ball, you get it in close to your body so it can't be knocked off, and then stick it out.
It's not the safest way to do it. Whenever you wave that football around, bad things happen. If he doesn't get it high enough, the fullback knocks it out of his hands. The best place to do is stick it into your own stomach and then push it out as you make the handoff.
2nd and 10. Colts go back to the ground game off the left side for a gain of 5 as Donald Brown, Kiko Alonso on the tackle.
That was a nice trap play up inside. Jerry Hughes got picked off by the off guard, and it's a nice run up inside by the running back. Once again, the Colts going back to that power running game that people have been hearing so much about coming out of this camp. And now they go back to a 1-back, 3-wide receiver out of the shotgun on 3rd and 6.
Bills looking like pressure's coming, and they do bring extra people. And Hasselbeck with time completes the out for a 1st down to T.Y. Hilton. A gain of 8. Stephon Gilmore on the coverage. Nice throw from Hasselbeck.
Yeah, and this is the exact reason why you want Matt Hasselbeck as your backup quarterback. He's got a lot of experience. You're not going to surprise him. He knows the concept of the offenses, no matter what the words are, which he had to learn an entirely new vocabulary to play for the Colts. But he's a guy who sees the field and knows where he's supposed to go with the football.
First and goal, they try it off the left side. No room there for the Colts. Donald Brown as they give him a yard on the play. Jerry Hughes comes up with the stop.
You see once again Jerry Hughes with his presence on the field. So many of these young linebackers for the Bills are so fast and so athletic. And when I watched them in practice, I thought they were all very instinctive. They saw things and read it and reacted extremely well, particularly in the live scrimmage at Rochester.
Hughes played for the Colts the last couple of years. And that ball was thrown in the end zone, but Fleener cannot hang on to it. Nice finish by Alonso on the play. That was going to be a touchdown, except that he just knocked it away with the physical nature of his play at the end.
Well, it was a great throw by Hasselbeck. Watch as Alonso's going to pick the tight end up. He's going to turn and run with him. Now he can keep up with him. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Great
People
technique.
say, why doesn't he look back for the football? Well, you don't have to, because it takes a great throw to fit it in there, and Hasselbeck did make a great throw. But once the guy catches it, he still has to catch it, and that's when you can punch it out.
Great play by Alonso. Perfect. You put your hands between theirs. That's where the football is going to be, and knock it out. He saves a touchdown.
It takes great hand-to-eye coordination. As you see here, they're going to have an illegal procedure call on the Colts.
Jerry Hughes jumped into the neutral zone to see what happened. So Hughes gets the 5-yard.
Yeah, youth is sometimes a good thing, and sometimes it costs you. But here Jerry Hughes gets taken by Matt Hasselbeck on the hard count, and these guys do the right thing. When you get a guy jumping in the neutral zone, the offensive linemen stand up and react to it, and then if he's in the neutral zone, or that means across the football, it's a penalty on the defense, not the offense.
So it brings up 3rd down and 4 from the Bills' 7-yard line. Hasselbeck in the gun. Throws to the outside, big hit, knocks the ball loose. That was Aaron Williams showing up and knocking the ball out of the hands of Donald Brown, and good defensive plays by the Bills forced the Colts into a field goal situation.
It's a nice stand by the Bills. 2 good, hard defensive plays. One by Kiko Alonso knocking the ball out in the back of the end zone, and this one by Aaron Williams just separating the running back from the football.
Oh, Adam Vinatieri will come on and attempt pretty much a glorified extra point, a 25-yard field goal from the left hash. Gets it up and through, no problem. And the Colts are the first to score here at Lucas Oil Stadium with 5:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's Indianapolis 3, Buffalo nothing. We'll take a local timeout, and E.J. Manuel will get the football back. Colts over the Bills here in the 1st quarter of the opening preseason game for both these teams. I want to remind you to come on out Friday, August 16th. It's Kids Day at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Enjoy kids-themed tailgating, a post-game fireworks show, a special Kids Day giveaway, and much more. Kids 14 and under, only $15 for the purchase of an adult ticket. For more information and to get your tickets, log on to BuffaloBills.com now. Buffalo Bills Kids Day, an event for the whole family. Brandon McManus set to kick off. Marquise Goodwin back for the Bills. Line drive kick. Goodwin from 5 yards deep. Gets a seam. He's got the speed to go. Marquise Goodwin all the way up to the 48-yard line. A 53-yard return for the rookie out of Texas.
Oh, it was blocked extremely well up front, and he picked the right spot. It was timed perfectly, and that's a lot of what it takes on a kickoff return. Watch as he follows his fullback up, and then right there, breaks off the block, got great blocking by the front line, gave him a seam, and he picked his spots. They always, they don't put you back to return kickoffs in the NFL unless you got some good vision and you can find your spot. And those guys, that was blocked perfectly up front, and Goodwin made the most of it. One guy tripped him up, otherwise he was gone, and it gave them an opportunity to grab him from behind, but that had all the makings of a touchdown.
Great starting field position as Fred Jackson takes over for Spiller in the backfield, tries the right side, and gets across midfield into Colts territory for the first time today. A gain of just 2 as Kelvin Shepard, former Bill, who was traded for Jerry Hughes, makes the play.
Freddie Jackson in for C.J. Spiller, and on those first couple of series, C.J. was up and down. This is the first play from scrimmage. You see here, right here as he cuts up and then bounces to the outside. That's what he does so well. And you'll watch here again as he falls his fullback off, gets a great block from Summers. That turned into a 15-yard gain as well.
Spiller, 4 carries, 37 yards, probably done for the day. Lee Smith not able to bring that manual pass in as Delano Howell had the coverage. Howell, another former Bill.
And once again, the Bills don't huddle up. They stand at the line of scrimmage. E.J. Manuel surveying the defense, getting a look and a pre-snap read as he lets his receivers come back from their routes and then get lined up. Bills spread it out. Freddie Jackson in the backfield.
3rd down and 7. Manuel with time. Now he's scrambling outside. He picks up the first down. He's got plenty of room. Puts the football away, which is very important. Before he's tracked down by Darius Butler, gets all the way down to the Colts 24-yard line, give him 29 on the scramble.
And that was an enormous play. He saw it. It was man-to-man coverage. When he steps up right there, he realizes it's man coverage. When that happens, the quarterback is always extremely dangerous because the defenders don't look back at the quarterback, and he runs right up behind the defenders. There's nobody to chase him except the big guys up front.
Tight bunch formation to the right to get the one-on-one with T.J. Graham out to the left. A nice throw. Good timing for Manuel. First down Bills down to the 13-yard line of the Colts.
And this is another aspect of this offense. Not only do they go no huddle, this is kind of a timing route. Just come out. The ball comes out on time. It's in the air before Graham even turns around, and it's tough to defend those if they're on target.
Flags come out before the snap. Both teams pointing at each other.
Number 79 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Eric Pierce, 8-year man out of Colorado State. Tallest member of this team at 6'8". Kind of hard to hide it when you move and you're that big.
Yeah, and it comes down to just being disciplined. Right there he is, and you're going to see him just
to the middle screen. Freddie Jackson's got the football and blockers and stumbles over Pierce. Actually, it's Eric Wood, down on the ground there. He stumbled over him, gets up, and gets 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, trying to show that replay of the offsides. We almost missed this middle screen as Freddie Jackson. I mean, you can't say enough about him. Everybody knows the kind of quality human being he is. He makes a difference in the locker room for this team. But I'll tell you this, in the live scrimmage in Rochester, when he came in the game in the 2-minute, everything changed. He's a difference maker.
Going over the middle and is held before the ball comes in there.
Oh, I agree.
Don't understand. Kelvin Shepard grabbed Fred Jackson, but no flag on the play.
Oh, there's no flag, and I'm with you. As he turned to make its way across the face of Shepard, Shepard just grabbed him. He couldn't get away from him, and the ball was coming right there. It should have been a completion.
Just like Shepard used to do in practice all those years. 2nd down. To the left side goes Freddie Jackson, and nice open field tackle over there by Vontae Davis to thwart the play for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that play had a chance, but Vontae Davis is great tackle. You don't hang around in the National Football League for as long as Davis has and not be able to make a play of that nature.
Brings up a 3rd down and goal now for the Bills. Ball resting on the Colts 10-yard line, just outside that 10-yard line. E.J. Manuel looking for his first touchdown pass. Got the time, throws it short over the middle. That one's not going to get in the end zone. Chris Hogan with the grab will get the ball to the 6 as Justin Hickman makes the tackle.
Hogan, who's been playing extremely well, he's going to come from the right of your screen right there. And you see E.J. throwing it right down the alley, formed by the offensive line, pushing the rush to the sides of E.J. so he could step up into the pocket and see down the middle of the field. Saw Hogan coming across, took a chance, and Hogan, if he could break a tackle, it was going to be a touchdown, but the defense played it extremely well. Well-executed play on both sides, but it didn't result in a touchdown for the Bills.
24-yard attempt by Dustin Hopkins, and that is up and good, and the 6th-round pick out of Florida State University gets his first points, and the Bills are on the board. It's all tied up here late in the first quarter, 3 apiece. Time for a net. All tied up 3-3 here late in the first quarter. Minute 39 left on the clock as the Bills their first score of the 2013 season, a field goal by Dustin Hopkins. And Hopkins will tee the ball and kick it off as Kerwin Williams is deep to return for the Colts. That was a pretty nice drive by the Bills offense.
Yeah, and it was key.
E.J. Manuel run with the football.
That
scramble.
was the thing. That was the big play, the 29-yarder, and that's exactly what you want an athletic quarterback to do. Sometimes you use it, but really you want him to use it when it's there, so that he can decide when it ends.
Hopkins kick short up at the goal line is where Williams grabs it and busts out to the right side where he runs into traffic. They'll mark him down at the 28-yard line, a 28-yard return as the Bills defense comes back out to the field.
And what I mean about EJ, when he scrambles, he can decide when to dive and when to go down. If you start calling those read options, sometimes he doesn't get to decide when he gets hit. And that's when it gets dangerous. But when he scrambles like that, his athleticism, man, what a weapon it is.
I would like to see him tuck that ball away a little bit better, and I'm sure he'll hear about that as the Colts come back out 1st and 10 from the 28. Donald Brown in the backfield, Hasselbeck at quarterback. Luck had 3 series, and he's out for the day now, we assume. Pass out to the flat. And that goes nowhere. Dominique Jones wrapped up by Manny Lawson. Give him a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
And Lawson's one of those guys that, he gives you an opportunity because of his athleticism to get out there and cover the back out of the backfield. These linebackers for the Bills, I've noticed in training camp, they just get from sideline to sideline so much faster than I'm used to seeing, that I think it's really going to be an asset to this team, particularly, hopefully, in the pass rush, not just in coverage.
5 receivers out in the route as Hasselbeck catches his back. Donald Brown, he gets up to the left sideline. He gets a jaws past midfield before Kiko Alonso runs him out. First down technology for today's game is brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota August sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places.
Kiko Alonso lost it on that one. Just as I talked about the athleticism of the linebackers, Alonso got faked out and got caught up looking in the backfield and then lost his man, had to chase him down from behind.
2 tight ends, 2 backs in the set for Hasselbeck. He hands this one off to the right side, and Donald Brown pushes forward for 4 yards before Nigel Bradham brings him down.
You talk about this defense, these linebackers, and now they're running 3-4 and a 4-3 hybrid in passing system. They mix it up, but Mike Pettin, a guy who's really known, particularly working over in New York with Rex Ryan, they're going to bring a lot of different looks. And if your team that uses that as a big weapon, particularly in the preseason, you're not going to show very much of it. So this defense is going to try and beat teams in the preseason and show things in the preseason kind of left-handed in their offhand because they're not going to use all the weapons at their disposal.
Play action, Hasselbeck throws it up deep to the outside. He's got Hilton, and Hilton makes the catch for a touchdown for the Colts. Ron Brooks coverage on the play, got caught with his eyes in the backfield. Hilton got behind him, and a perfect throw, 44 yards for the score for the Colts.
The outside, so out and up, and Brooks right there, he gets caught looking, and then once he looks back, then you see him put his head down and try and catch back up.
Too late.
T.Y. Hilton is just too fast to do that. If you're going to get caught on a pump fake or on a stomp move as a corner, you've got to make sure your body position is such that the receiver has to run very wide around you to get back on track. Brooks gave him too much room to go vertical and didn't make him adjust his route enough so that he could keep up with his speed.
Extra point from Vinatieri is good, and the Colts hit the Bills as time runs out here in the first quarter. 10-3, Indianapolis over Buffalo as we head into the second quarter. The opening preseason game for the Bills here in 2013. After this local timeout, they'll get the football back. Here as we start the second quarter. Marquise Goodwin back to return the kick from Brandon McManus. Goodwin took an earlier one, 53 yards on when he almost busted out the other end. An exciting ball player who has incredible speed, but they've been really impressed, Steve, with his ability to go up and get the ball in a crowd so far in training camp.
Right, he's impressed him a lot like T.J. Graham did a year ago. They draft these guys because they're so fast, and then they find out when they get out that they're pretty good receivers too. Both those guys run pretty good routes. They're good and strong on the ball, and they've got good hands, which is a pleasant surprise for guys known for strictly speed.
McManus sends a grounder up the middle that gets all the way to the fence. A touchback, no return for Goodwin. But let's take a look at his ability back at Texas as a college player.
Well, this will give you an idea of why he was considered a real playmaker coming out. And you see right there as he turns the corner, they just don't catch him. Gets the ball a lot on the end around, and I'll tell you, when you see a guy get the ball in the end around a lot of times it's acknowledgement of his ability to make plays, but it's also an acknowledgement that he can't catch. So they got to get it to him somehow, so they start handing it to these wide receivers who are fast, and it tells a lot of people that, they're not going to throw it to him because he can't get open or he can't catch it. But they found out that Goodwin is actually a pretty good receiver in his own right.
Fred Jackson in the backfield with E.J. Manuel. A little slide play to the right side. He'll pick up a yard or two. I did several Texas college games over the last couple years, and my criticism, observation was I didn't think they got the ball to Goodwin enough. They didn't target him.
Yeah, now you sound like a Little League dad saying the kid's not playing
my
pitcher.
Give my kid the ball.
Yeah.
Second and
It ain't because
9.
they're not trying to win games, I'll tell you that.
Manuel tosses it outside. That is complete to Robert Woods, the draft pick, number 2 draft pick out of USC. As the Bills went after some receivers, some playmakers to add excitement to this offense. They'll mark him 2 yards shy of the first down.
Well, did they ever? I mean, they got a whole stable of young wide receivers. They're big and fast, or they're fast and big, whichever you want to look at it. They are really, really athletic on the outside. You throw Stevie Johnson into the mix, and it's a pretty good group, although young.
3rd and 2, and a careful pass to Chris Hogan. A little bit behind him, he drops it, and the punt team will have to come out. To me, Manuel kind of aimed that one instead of threw it.
Yeah, you can see there he was worried about getting it batted into the air. He tried to kind of sidearm it and aim it through the rush that was in his face, and he just missed the spot. And you could tell by his body language, which you love to see in a quarterback, he knew it was his fault. He had his guy open, and Hogan couldn't reach down low behind him and get it.
And I'm sure Hogan's upset with himself as well, as Sean Powell comes on to punt this one away. Marche Green back at his own 25 to return for the Colts. Good high spiraling kick in for the sidelines. Outstanding punt from Sean Powell. This disallows even the possibility of a return. That's the old coffin corner. They're bringing it back.
Yeah, it's a little outside the 20, but it's still the same effect. You can't give up a big return when it's out of bounds.
10-3 Colts over the Bills. 13:51 to go here in the second. We'll take a network timeout. Highlight of the game, and the spotlight is on Kiko Alonso. Been in 20 plays, made 3 tackles, 1 for a loss, a hurry, and broke up a touchdown, a potential touchdown. Steve, he's been all over the field.
Yeah, he's a really athletic. He's very fast. He's got great instincts. He was thought to be one of the best guys, certainly one of the fastest and most athletic guys available in the draft. The Bills got him, and I think they've been extremely happy with him. He's the second pick of he's the Bills' second pick in the second round this season, and he's been plugged in right. He was plugged in right away, and he is not disappointed. He's been playing extremely well through camp.
Does my heart good to see a number 50 representing there.
Finally.
Delone Carter tries the right side, and he represents a loss on the play. Good penetration. Manny Lawson in there. I'm going to let that slide.
Grandpa. All right. This is what the Bills want. I mean, you see this Manny Lawson, and then, of course, you see the big guy, Corbin Bryant, come in. The Bills need those front 4 to stop those inside runs. If they can do that, everything else is going to open up in coverage and in pressure.
2nd and 11, Hasselbeck tries the slant. That one's batted up and intercepted. Brought down. The Bills get their second turnover of the day. Cresdon Butler comes up with, actually he tipped it. Manny Lawson tipped it. Butler with the interception.
Yeah, Manny Lawson down inside. It was a quick throw, and that's exactly the defensive linemen. They know they're not going to get there. So watch, Lawson gets up and gets a hand on it right in the face. right there, and boom, right off his wristband, and that is death to an offense. When the ball gets tipped up in the air, nothing good is going to happen.
Sudden change now for the Bills offense, where they go for the throat here on this first down. I'd love to see him throw it deep down the field here with E.J. Manuel.
Yeah, you talk in general about this. A defense that gets a lot of turnovers is great for a team with a rookie quarterback.
They keep it on the ground. Rolling to the right side is Tashard Choice. Pick up a couple. Justin Hickman makes the tackle.
We're going to see a lot of Tashard Choice as this game goes on from the Bills offense. Tashard Choice. You're going to see Zach Brown, Kendall
Gaskins. To see Gaskins.
Yeah, and I mean, all these guys are going to get their opportunity. They're going to, one or two of them are going to make it. And they want to know what they get from these guys, not only in offense, but also in special teams.
2nd and 8, Manuel throws a little dart across the middle, complete down to the 20-yard line. That was Chris Gregg, the tight end, making the grab. Bring up a 3rd down and 3 now for the Bills.
And this is exactly the kind of play that EJ's got to make. Just the quick throw. We saw him miss Hogan across the middle to end the last drive, and then he hits this one. He's got to do it every time. Those are gimmies.
3rd down, hits the slant, and Chris Hogan makes this grab, and the Bills convert, move the chains. 1st down now from the 13 of the Colts.
And that's perfect stuff. Just zip, zip, zip. EJ drops back, makes one quick read, looks down the middle at the safety, then looks to his receiver and darts it in there to Hogan.
Manuel hands this one off inside, and a little bit of room, give him 4 yards for Tashard Choice.
When I saw this team play in their live scrimmage in Rochester, the red zone is really where I think E.J. Manuel played extremely well. As you see a Colt down.
And that is Justin Hickman down for the Colts. And they are missing several inside linebackers already. So while they're tending to Hickman, we'll tend to some business, take a local timeout as the Bills are knocking on the door here early in the 2nd. And 3 lead over the Bills here in the 2nd quarter of the inaugural or opening preseason football game between the two. And one of the things Nathaniel Hackett brought to this offense is the faster tempo. You see the play clock right there. And the Bills have been going fast. They caught us a couple times, Steve, trying to talk about the last play. They're already running the next play. We'll have more information on that and just how fast they want to go.
Well, they're snapping the football. They don't huddle up, and they don't appear to be in any type of hurry, but they aren't taking any time between plays.
Hand off. Nice cutback there by Choice. Gets him close to the 1st down. A little short. We'll call it 3rd down and 2 now, coming up as Marshe Green makes the stop for Indianapolis.
That was a nice run by Choice. He had to sidestep in the backfield and then made another guy miss to fall forward and set up a 3rd and short.
Manuel rolls to the right. One pass option, nothing there. Throws it away. Good decision as the pressure was coming from Cavell Connor.
Yeah, and that's a throwaway play. It's a missed opportunity on a 3rd and 2. You'd love to be able to convert a 3rd and 2, even if you are inside the 5-yard line. But it's a smart play. When the Colts defended it, you got to give them credit. They're on scholarship too. And E.J. Manuel did the right thing. Just flip it out of bounds. He didn't take a hit. He flipped it and ran away from the line of scrimmage. No contact. And you live to fight another day and give your guy a chance for a very short field goal.
Great decision there by E.J. Manuel. Sets up the field goal opportunity for Dustin Hopkins, who was good from 24 earlier. This one from 23. And Hopkins is money inside 24. The field goal is good. And the lead closes to 4 points. Now Indianapolis 10, Buffalo 6. With 11:05 to play here in the first half, we'll take a local timeout and come back to Bills preseason football. Kids Day at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Enjoy kids themed tailgating, a post-game fireworks show, a special Kids Day giveaway, and much more. Kids 14 and under are only $15 with the purchase of an adult ticket. For more information and to get your tickets, log on to BuffaloBills.com right now. Bring the kids out for Buffalo Bills Kids Day, an event for the whole family.
That has become a real institution.
It's
Buffalo.
fun.
I mean, it really is an event because it's one of the few preseason games around the National Football League that sells out on a regular basis, and it's a real event. Before the game, during the game, after, it's really cool.
Hopkins, line driver, bounces at the 5 and goes out of bounds, and that might be the most egregious penalty in football.
The kicker's not going to get any sympathy from anybody coming over the sideline. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's what he's going to hear from the Bills' new.
And that's Danny Crossman, the special teams coordinator, the third guy in there with Marone and Hopkins.
So it gives the Colts great field position. They'll start this drive on
Marone
their
may
own
be
40.
whispering.
He may not be.
He's using his inside voice, but he's not using inside words. I'll tell you that. That is bad when that happens. And kickers know it. I mean, they know it before anybody else does. But oh my goodness.
Third quarterback of the half to play now for the Colts as Chandler Harnish out of Northern Illinois is taking the snap. Delone Carter tries the middle, runs into some resistance after a gain of 4 yards on the play as Jonathan Meeks involved in that tackle. See the numbers on Harnish. Outstanding quarterback at Northern Illinois. And now he's in a pretty good situation, learning from some good guys in Luck and Hasselbeck.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 222 pounds. It's his first year here with the Colts.
Tries it on the outside, deep one, throws it away, out of bounds. Really was the coverage. He was trying to hit Lanier Sampson, but the coverage on the play was outstanding from the Bills. Let's see, that was Don Butler, who has the interception on the day, had the good coverage.
And this keeps his eye. You see there, Butler's looking at the quarterback, so he doesn't care what the receiver's doing. When the quarterback turns his shoulders towards his guy and starts to cock his arm back to throw it, then he reacts to the throw. But as the receiver started to run past him, the quarterback turned back towards him and dropped his back shoulder to put a little arc on it. He knew he could open his hips, turn and run with that pass, and that was way out of bounds.
3rd and 5 now. Harnish with pressure escapes outside and dives short of the first down. Let's see where they mark him. He did go head first. He got a real nice mark over on that side.
That's what I thought too. I think that should not have been a first down. In fact, I would, if I was Doug Marone, this is one time when you can challenge, and I think it's a good time because he goes down with head first right there. He's well short of the line. That would be a 4th down play, and I think they should challenge that spot because he never got to the yard line.
Jim O'Neill is upstairs, and he is the man who looks at those replay possibilities and communicates with Coach Marone on the sideline. O'Neill also is a linebackers coach on the staff. But no flag, no red flag, I should say. Colts get the first down. Play action. Harnish on a bootleg. Gets it outside to Robert Hughes, and Hughes gets close to another first down. Looks like it will be just shy, bringing up a 2nd and 1 now for Indianapolis.
As you see, Hughes goes out for the pass, and Jerry Hughes of the Bills tackles him. Hughes got caught on the misdirection. It's so hard for a linebacker to see everybody run to one side of the field and then have a guy sprint across your face. You got to catch up to him before he can get open. It's really difficult play to defend.
Good down to take a deep shot, 2nd and short, and Harnish is going to try one to the outside and completes it out there to the right side to Levon Brazil as Don Butler had the coverage again, a 10-yard gain and a first down for the Colts.
He's doing a nice job. They're letting him air it out, and if you're looking at a quarterback, the best way to evaluate him is to let him drop back and see the field and throw it. And we saw with Andrew Luck and a little bit with Hasselbeck in the game, they were going 2 tight end, 2 running back, and now almost exclusively they're spreading it out and letting Harnish throw the football all over the field.
1st and 10 from the Bills 31. Goes Harnish. Bills show blitz, and they bring it. Little play action, quick to the outside against man-to-man coverage. And Griff Whalen makes the reception as Roby makes the tackle after a gain of 4.
Yeah, Roby, the guy 5'8", 165 pounds. I mean, he is not very big. I mean, this is he can run with anybody, no question. But man, you get out on a physical confrontation with him, it's hard for him to beat anybody up when he only weighs $165.
2nd and 6 for Harnish, empty backfield. Tries to get rid of it quickly, and the pressure came from the outside, and that thing got tipped by Arthur Moats, who showed up as a cover man in the middle.
That was, I believe, Jamie Blacknick, who came off the edge right up there. Oof.
That's fun when nobody blocks you.
Game's easy when you played against air.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Eric. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're down in 6, let's call it. As the Colts got a drive going here. Blitz coming. Harnish steps up inside, tries to get it in there again to Sampson, but that one is just knocked away. A great defensive play by Butler. The Butler did it again.
Yep. Butler did an extremely good job. He stayed right on. Watch as he takes the crossing route, stays right on his upfield hip, and then comes over the top and whacks down with the tomahawk across Sampson's arms. That's a great job by Cresden Butler. Great coverage, great technique on a really key 3rd and 5.
So that'll bring Vinatieri out to attempt a field goal, this one from 44 yards. It was good earlier. And as usual, right down the pipe, Vinatieri converts. And that makes it 13-6. Now the Colts with the lead by 7 over the Bills with 7:42 to go here in the first half. Bills will get it back. We'll take a network. Over the Bills 13-6 here midway through the second quarter. Time now to take a look at the New York Lottery inside the numbers. Players take 5 from the New York Lottery today. Hey, you never know.
Well, C.J. Spiller is going to get really tired during games this year. They're going to hand him the football a ton, and why not? You saw him on the first couple of plays from scrimmage today in his limited work. He was outstanding and looked like the best guy on the field, and it looked like if he would have kept playing, it was only a matter of time till he was going to snap a 90-yarder off. So they're really going to use him a ton this year, and well, they should.
Goodwin takes it from 7 yards deep, has a seam to the right side. Here he goes again. Look out. This guy can fly. It's a foot race. My money's on Goodwin.
Yeah, they're not going to get him.
No flags on the play, and a touchdown return. 107 yards from Marquise Goodwin.
That is so long,
dude.
Oh my God,
it's almost unheard of. But football has changed.
Oh goodness, it was a no-no to even think about bringing it out from 3 yards deep. He's 7, and as a rookie in his first preseason game, he's 7 yards deep and gone, and gliding the last 20. Wow.
Well, he had a 53-yard return earlier. Add that to the 107-yard return right there, and people better not.
Pardon me for laughing,
they
but
better kick it out of the end zone.
Let me tell you something. That tickles me.
Hopkins will come on.
Was well blocked again. I mean, wow.
Tie this thing up with the extra point, and indeed he does. In special teams, Danny Crossman's guys getting it done here early on with the return game. 107 yards all the way back to the house from Marquise Goodwin. Ties this up with 7:29 to go here in the first half, and the Bills explode. Well, special team.
It takes courage to do it. I mean, he catches this up at his eyes, see up there, and he pulls it down, and he gets a nice block right there from Summers, who just really chases the guy he's supposed to block down, and the guy takes himself out of it. It's well blocked up front, well timed once again, and the further this was going to run, the further ahead Goodwin was going to be. I mean, the pursuit just wasn't going to catch him. It looked like they had the angle early, and then it didn't look like they had the angle.
How does this sound? 2 returns, 160 yards, a touchdown, an 80-yard average.
That sounds like a game changer.
Yeah, it does. And with McKelvin returning punts the way he's done in the past, leading the NFL last year, it's a double threat for this Bills.
Well, it's one more thing teams are going to have to consider when they play the Bills. And if you get a defense who can cause turnovers and you get guys who can return the football to give you field position, it's going to take the pressure off an offense that's all new with a new quarterback. And it's going to give you a margin of error that the Bills haven't enjoyed for a long time.
Hopkins has it teed up and boots this one. Let's call it 8 yards deep in the end zone is where Kerwin Williams takes it out, and he just gets smothered under inside the 10 at the 8-yard line as the coverage teams for the Bills. Ron Brooks makes a play.
That's, I'll tell you what, for as much as he's been in, we made a big deal out of a penalty he got earlier in the half, but he has rebounded immensely. He came from the outside, he's got contained, and he plays it, take it from me, perfectly. He dared the guy to try and bounce back to his outside, and the guy wouldn't take it, and he had him. What a great tackle by Brooks. He played it extremely well coming off the edge.
Marco Sampson also in on that tackle as Williams is in the backfield. And takes it off to the right side, picks up 4 or 5. Arthur Moats meets him there.
Well, the Bills have certainly grabbed momentum back with 2 special teams plays, a kick return for a touchdown, and then the big hit down to the 10-yard, inside the 10-yard line on a kick. I mean, that's the way to grab momentum and field position and give your team a boost. They've gotten themselves back to a tie ball game late in the first half and have their opponent down deep in their own territory.
2nd and 5 for the Colts. Williams, the I-back. Harnish, the quarterback, hands it to Williams. He wins his way through some tight traffic, but picks up the first down just shy of the 20-yard line, a 6-yard gain for Williams on the play as T.J. Heath makes the stop for the Bills defense.
Yeah, pretty good job up front by the Colts. They didn't allow any of the defenders to shed the block and step into it, and as you saw right there, Williams just trying to weave his way through and avoid blocks. Didn't really do anything special except just run to the open area and then kind of ran in a serpentine pattern for the first down. Defenders all around him, but nobody could shed the block and make the tackle.
1st and 10. Harnished play action fake. Gets this one out up the seam, and that ball is complete off of the play action as the Colts move the chains again. Justice Cunningham makes the grab, a pickup of 17.
Cunningham coming off the left side of the line of scrimmage, just runs out, kind of bananas to the outside, running the corner route. Of course, it falls to Williams to come over from the safety position to finally get there.
Duke Williams shows up a little bit late there, 4th-round pick for the Bills in this most recent draft out of Nevada. 1st and 10 now for the Colts from their own 31. That one's batted down, tried to get it out to the left side, but Jerry Hughes coming unblocked. He swatted it. He JJ swatted it. And I tell you, if you've seen JJ Watt out of Houston play, I think he's changed the way guys look at playing defensive line with how many balls he gets his hands on.
Yeah, and it's become obvious, and it was obvious for a long time, but guys just didn't believe it. They all wanted the sack, and now with the attention and the praise that JJ Watt has gotten just for swatting passes away, guys are starting to add it to their repertoire and make a bigger point of trying to get it done.
Watt had 16 swats last year on the 2nd down play. Good timing from Harnish. He finds Griff Whalen, but he'll be just shy of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and a long 2 for the Colts as Nickel Roby makes the tackle for the Bills.
The Colts making wholesale changes offensively, starting to evaluate guys, and now the Bills match that. And this is where it gets dicey in the preseason. Your personnel combinations, you're starting to play in the game, these guys, these backups, with guys they've never taken reps with. And also sometimes it's happened that they'll get a play or a defensive call on the field that they've never actually run live on the field. And the Colts will take a timeout right here.
See Chandler Harnish coming over to the sidelines to get some input, and on the Bills sidelines they're looking around as well to try and stop this drive. We're looking at a 3rd down and 2 when play resumes, and while we have a moment here, Steve, 4:38 left here in the first half, all tied up 13-all. What's your gut tell you about this year's outfit here with the Buffalo Bills?
Well, they're much more athletic, particularly at the skill positions and at linebacker defensively. Their defensive philosophy is completely different than it was a year ago. It's an attack mentality, and I think one of the reasons Mike Pettin saw this team and decided he wanted to be a part of it was he played against these guys last year as the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets. And he thinks he can do some things with the talent on this defense that need to be done and can really take advantage of some of the things that Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, to just name a couple, Stephon Gilmore as well, plus the young linebackers. I think Pettin really likes this crew and wants to be the guy known as the guy who took them to the playoffs as defensive coordinator.
Colts load up with an extra offensive lineman on 3rd and short and run bootleg, and a dangerous pass across his body, and yet Harnish is able to get it in and convert. Dominique Jones, amidst the traffic, is able to reel that one in. That one almost went the other way.
Jonathan Meeks thought he had a line on this, and you'll watch as Harnish comes out, you'll see number 36 of the Bills coming up from the secondary. You see him right there on the edge of your screen. He thought he had a chance at it and went for the interception, didn't get it, and gave up the completion. That looked like it was going the other way, and I think Meeks already had scored the touchdown before the ball was actually there.
And that's why you don't throw it across your body in a situation like that. Ask Brett Favre. He'd be able to tell you that one. So first down and 10 into Bills territory as Kerwin Williams takes it to the outside. A flag comes down behind the play. T.J. Heath on the tackle.
And this one's coming back on a holding call.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So that'll back them up, and they'll have 20 yards to go for a first down. Speaking of first downs, first down technology for today's game is brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota August sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. So the penalty backs up the Colts to a first down and 20 look now. We'll see if Mike Pettin dials up some pressure here for his Bills defense.
They're lined up for a four-man rush. No pressure on a first and 20, and it'll be a four-man rush. Now it's a screen pass, read very well. Can they ram him in?
Close the back door, and they get it closed on a good effort as Kerwin Williams tried to change direction. Boy, the Bills sniffed that one out immediately. Alex Carrington, Jerron Gilbert.
Well, you can
the one
see
who makes
there,
the play, but this was read immediately,
The
Steve.
Bills are spread out all over the field, so it gives him a chance to really dissect what's going on. There's a lot of space, and they can see what the offense is doing. And to a man, all four defensive linemen knew what was coming on that play. That was real. Now, they had no shot of making that play a success with the Bills reading it like that.
Jay Ross did a really nice job. Harnish throws it back against the grain again and almost gets another one picked off. It was Meeks who had that one on his hands.
Yeah, that's two of them. And you can bet he's going to lay awake tonight wondering why he doesn't have two interceptions. And Harnish is going to roll out to avoid the pressure that the Bills got and then throw that open-shouldered, and it gets tipped.
You better be a good tackler.
Not even tipped. It tipped out of Meeks' hands. He had both hands on it. And you know as well as I, no offense,
None
present
taken.
company accepted, guys play defense sometimes because they can't catch. And Meeks has proven that to be perhaps true.
3rd and 20, a draw play as Kerwin Williams finds a little room, but he's going to go nowhere fast as Jamie Blatnick responds and makes the play on this little draw play. Almost all right, we'll punt the ball from the Colts, and that's what they'll do here as they face a 4th down and 17.
And this gives Robert Woods an opportunity to return a punt. Although it's going to be down tight, and this will be up to the Colts to pin him down deep if they can. But Robert Woods getting an opportunity to show one other way he can help the football team. He's already at the top of the rotation at wide receiver. They're looking at him very much as a guy who's going to get a lot of snaps on offense.
Colts let the clock wind down to our 2-minute break here in the first half. We're all tied up. Indianapolis 13, Buffalo 13, 2 minutes to go here in the first. We're all tied up here in Indianapolis, 13 apiece, 2 minutes to go here in the first half, and that brings us to the time for our Snapple Real Fact.
Nathaniel Hackett at 33 is the second youngest coordinator in the NFL offensively. The youngest being Will Gaines down in Tennessee.
He's 32.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Hackett brings a ton of energy as this punt from McAfee settles in with some backspin and down at the 8-yard line, and that's where the 2-minute drill will commence with E.J. Manuel at the controls with 1:50 and 3 timeouts to work with.
This is something that is really, really important for a young quarterback and preseason football. This is the exact kind of situation you would love to have your quarterback run about 4 or 5 times a game. A 2-minute, 91-yard drive with a lot of timeouts left. There's Nathaniel Hackett. Right there's the guy. And he'll call in the plays, and then it'll go down to the sideline and out to E.J. Manuel, and he'll execute.
First pass, flips it to the outside, complete to Robert Woods as you've got the young triumvirate of receivers in for Buffalo. You got Woods, Goodwin, and Graham. 2 rookies and a second-year man. with the rookie quarterback trying to get something going here as the clock winds down to a minute 30.
His radio went out. He saw him touch both ears and then put his hands up like, I can't hear you.
Yeah, maybe he's doing that because he wants to call the plays. I know. That's beyond some of us.
That's a veteran move right there. He learned quick.
Lee Smith makes the grab. There's a flag down.
That's a late hit on Lee Smith.
Personal foul, number 59 of the defense. Unnecessary roughness. Coming in late with the helmet. 15 yards at the end of the play. First down.
Sean Luceau with that, and he came in late after the receiver was down. Chuck Pagano doesn't like it, but this is the face of the new National Football League. There he's down, and boom, right there, bouncing in on top. And
can't have that head down.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's a little late and a little low.
Manuel quickly dumps it outside. He'll get the clock stopped as Tashard Choice makes the grab. Just want to remind you while I have a minute here, our Northtown Automotive halftime show coming up. We'll speak live with Doug Marone. We'll have Bill's focus on strength and conditioning and highlights and stats coming up on the Northtown Automotive halftime show. Manuel throws it inside, completes it for the first down to Robert Woods, and the Bills will use a timeout immediately with 1 minute and 8 seconds left here to play in the first half. They still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, you talk about this team and all the new faces with Woods and Goodwin, TJ Graham, who's in his second year. But these are the guys. You got tall guys and you got fast guys. And all these guys over here are the tall guys, 6'3", 6'5". You got a 6'1" in Chris Hogan and Easley. But then you got these guys over here. These are supposedly the fast guys, and they're all 6'2". But you know, these guys are all going to vie for about 4 spots on there. You see, Stevie Johnson is not on there. So there's a guy, you know, so you got like 5 or 6 spots at wide receiver that you got to fill as an organization. And it comes down to those 4th and 5th guys being able to contribute on special teams and in packages. But that's what they're looking at.
On first down, a little pass across the way to Tashard Choice, and he'll get it out of bounds to stop the clock after a gain of 8.
That's a great play by Choice. He kind of gave a wiggle to make him think he was going to try and cut it up inside, but still got to the boundary, stopped the clock on a 2nd and 2, which in this place, as you said, Ray, earlier, this is the spot maybe for a shot down the field. Now the Colts are backing off into coverage, but
E.J. Manuel has only thrown 1 pass beyond 10 yards all day. Now he picks up the first down here with a scramble. They're going to have to hurry up and get this thing going as the clock now is at 50 seconds.
Well, they still got two timeouts, and really you want to make sure at this point, if you're E.J., don't stop thinking about making sure you're in field goal range.
Another quick pass, drops this one over the middle. And
this is the spot for a timeout. Yeah, Marone will take this other timeout. That's a perfect job by Manuel. Keep working the center of the football field as long as you have those timeouts and you're in the early downs. The clock is still at 36 seconds. You got plenty of time because you can always spike it if you get into a bad spot. But he's worked the clock perfectly, and they only had really one big break, and that was the late hit early in the drive. They put him out to about the 40-yard line, but they've worked this clock extremely well. 2-minute drill, 91 yards to go, and they're already in field goal range right now. It'd be a 53-yard attempt, which is on the edge of reliability, but nevertheless, it's a very solid and very reasonable attempt already. And now they've got 36 seconds, a timeout, and it's 2nd down and short. So this is the perfect execution thus far for the Bills.
Doran Dickerson made that last grab. E.J. Manuel 6 for 6 on this drive. Spins away from the pressure and throws it out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock now with 29 seconds to go as the Bills trying to get some points on the board.
They've got a penalty coming up against Indianapolis. So this is going to pick up the first down right here. I think he got illegal contact.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 52 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Calvin Shepard got away with a hold earlier. You and I called him on. He didn't get away with this one, as this will move the ball. And this is significantly for the Bills. Actually, the players got a little overexcited.
Whoa.
Ball's going to be at the 30.
Yeah, see, right there, keep an eye on him as he's going to work right there. And he's working there against Dickerson and couldn't. Yeah, he just grabbed a handful of his jersey. That was easy for the field judge to call.
Manuel, again, dumps it over the middle. This one is caught by Robert Woods. Woods shows you the speed and the intelligence to to get out of bounds and stop the clock and continue to move it as he gets down to the 18-yard line. 24 seconds left. The Bills with 1 timeout remaining.
Well, one thing about Woods, and one of the reasons they grabbed him, I mean, he's the 41st overall pick of the NFL draft. He's sharp, smart, mature. He's a real pro. He's a kid that gets the big picture really early in his career. He comes out very polished from USC.
That one dropped off to Tashard Choice. He gets out of bounds once again. E.J. Manuel looking cool and collected back there. Now 8 of 9 on this drive.
Well, so far, E.J. has not tried to do too much. You know, he's thrown it away a couple of times. He really hasn't made a really risky throw just yet. Now, he's had some throws that weren't that good, but none of them were real risky throws. He's throwing the short pass and accepting that. We'll see how long that lasts before he takes a shot.
2nd and 8. He takes his shot into the end zone, and it is a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. Doran Dickerson with the grab up the middle, and the 2-minute drive works to perfection. Get a little help on some penalties, but E.J. Manuel executes and gets on the board to Doran Dickerson.
Well, you're right. It took him. It was exactly 2 minutes to go in the first half, and there's 14 seconds left. They leave virtually no time left for the Colts to do anything offensively. You can bet the Colts will kneel down before halftime, and the Bills will go in with a 7-point lead if they can convert this extra point.
That was the first throw of over 15 yards on the day for E.J. Manuel, which I find surprising. And they get the extra point from Dustin Hopkins, and the Bills take the lead here now, 20-13 with 14 seconds to go. E.J. Manuel, 16 of 21 for a touchdown and 107 yards. He also ran the ball a couple of times for 24 yards. Not too bad of a debut the first half. No critical mistakes, no big mistakes that really hurt him.
Well, when they drafted him, the thing about E.J. Manuel that got me as an observer, and obviously nobody called me and asked me who they should draft, but
surprisingly,
he's the guy I thought that they should draft for one reason. And you know, as former players, you and I kind of have the acid test that we apply to guys. When you talk to the guys at Florida State, the coaches and players that he played with, this guy is a winner. They loved playing for him. They rallied around him. He led them. He played hard for them. And the players around him responded to his leadership. This was a guy that got the most out of the guys around him, and he got them to rally around him, and the coaches thought the world of this guy. That's a big sell for me. And the fact that the guy's 6'4", 230-some, has got a cannon for an arm and can run and all that other stuff is a bonus, because as a leader, he seems to have passed all those tests in the run-up to his career in the NFL.
25-6 record at Florida State as a starter, including 4 consecutive bowl wins. So when the lights came on big, E.J. got his team to win. Returning the kick is Zambrano, and he runs into trouble right around the 10-yard line again as the Bills' coverage units continue to play well. Brian Smith with the stop on that one. And with 9 seconds left, look for the Colts to take a knee and the Bills to take the lead into the halftime.
Yeah, you look at that kick. That's 2 times the Bills have tackled the Colts inside their 10-yard line on kickoff. One was a deep kick that the guy brought out. It was kind of a line drive. This one was a high hanging kick inside the hash marks. And he brought it out of the Bills, covering hard, covered the ground and got inside the 10 and forced a bad return and gives them a chance to go in with a touchdown lead at halftime as the Colts do kneel down.
Well, coming up on the Northtown Automotive Group halftime show, we'll talk to Doug Marrone momentarily as he gets set up for us, and then we'll have the Bills Focus featuring strength and conditioning and also highlights and stats, all coming up on the Northtown Automotive Group halftime show. And we do have head coach Doug Marrone with us. And Coach, the first half, just give me your assessment. How are your guys playing? Are they playing the way you want them to?
Well, you know, I give them credit. I mean, obviously they're playing hard, so I'm excited about that. And then, you know, I was just a little disappointed in some of the penalties early on, but I was happy with the defense creating the two turnovers. You know, and then obviously this last 2-minute drive. I mean, 95-yard 2-minute drive is a heck of a job by everybody. You know, the quarterback did a nice job, and the other players did a nice job of getting out of bounds.
Coach, you told us yesterday that with the new NFL and there's no two-a-days and you're kind of limited in your contact in the preseason, you wanted to see how tough your guys were. Obviously, you don't like the penalties, but what can we look for, and what's your assessment of how they're handling the live action and the physical nature of the game, and you know, what kind of identity are they going to have?
Sure, I'm excited for that. I think they did a nice job. I think anywhere else, and you see this throughout the preseason, and that's why we have it, is, you have seen some missed tackles, from us out on this field. So, but you're not seeing those misses caused by shying away or doing the wrong thing. So it's just a matter of, making sure we keep, working on it and developing it throughout the preseason.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Great.
Good luck the second half.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Ray.
Coach Doug Marrone. Got to be excited. In fact, he looked pretty happy about the way the Bills have performed here early on. They take the lead 20-13 at halftime. Stick around. Our Northtown Automotive Group halftime show is coming at you after this local timeout. Bills 20, Colts 13. PS Store presents Games to Watch. September 15th at Ralph Wilson Stadium, the Bills host Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Newton, a dynamic talent, will have his hands full with the Buffalo Bills' revamped defense. C.J. Spiller and the Bills' offense look to start an era of greatness under head coach Doug Marrone. And for fans at the Ralph, the game will include a very special halftime tribute to the Bills' Wall of Famers. Games to Watch, presented by the UPS Store. Visit the UPS stores of Western New York, your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. For locations, visit theupsstore.com. Some exciting games coming up for all you Bills fans. Make sure you get to see those games to watch. Watching a pretty good one here. The Colts, they won the toss and elected to receive the first half, so Buffalo will get the ball to start here the second half with a 20-13 lead over Indianapolis. And done a nice job executing. We'll see if E.J. Manuel comes back to take the first series here of the third quarter, or will we see Jeff Toole, the rookie quarterback out of Washington State, who's the number 2. Kevin Cobb, don't know if we'll see him today. Everyone knows about the incident where he hurt his knee slipping on the rubber mat during practice last Saturday, and then he was out of practice dealing with a death in the family, so he's the emergency third-string quarterback today. Doubt if we'll see him. Kickoff from McManus finds Marcus Easley, the back of the end zone, and that one easily goes over his head. The Bills will start this drive at their own 20-yard line.
And it looks like Jeff Toole's going to come in. I got to admit, I didn't get a chance to do much work on Jeff Toole except to watch him play in the live scrimmage last week in Rochester, and I got to tell you, I was kind of impressed. In fact, I was saying it, with the rough start that E.J. Manuel got in that scrimmage, Toole might have been the best-looking guy at quarterback that night. We didn't see Cobb at all, and Toole was very accurate and right on time with his passes.
And he'll hand this first one off to Tashard Choice, who is running behind some new men in that offensive line. The left guard battle is one that's being looked at closely as they have to replace Andy Levitre, and Colin Brown went the first half. Now Doug Legursky, number 59, is in there making his bid for the spot. Second down and 8 here is Choice in the backfield, but Toole throws it out to the right side. A strike to Marcus Easley, and that will move the chains as Toole hits his first pass.
It's nice to get that under your belt. It's Toole, who is the type of guy who is a quarterback who's a drop back passer. And he does have some athleticism, and he can do all the things they're asking him to do athletically. But this is the kid who grew up dropping back, finding a receiver, and putting the football on him.
Hands it off to Choice, cuts it back as Josh Chapman makes the tackle, a gain of a few yards. And Jeff Toole, I watched some highlights and some stuff on him as we see Legursky making a block on this play. I love the way he throws the deep ball, and I'm looking forward to the Bills actually throwing a deep ball in this game. We did not see a single one. That shocks me.
You are pounding that nail with the big hammer all the game. You want to see him throw the deep ball, and they haven't done it. But you're right. I mean, up front, and Toole does throw a very nice deep ball. And we're talking about, Toole and standing back there, and the guys that are coming in off the bench now, like Legursky in this offensive line. And we saw a quick ISO replay of Legursky getting off the football. Legursky, one of the things about him at left guard, he's not very tall. Legursky is short for an offensive lineman in the National Football League, and he's only standing 6'1", and he weighs 315 pounds. Not really the guy you want playing left tackle, but I know this, when you look at him, he's a guy you do want on your side if there's a bar fight.
Toole mishandles the snap and then dumps it outside to Zach Brown. And he'll pick up a couple of yards before Alan Chapman makes the play, and that'll bring up a third down now and long for the rookie quarterback out of Washington State.
Yeah, you got to take a minute to look at this. Zach, as you see Zach Brown in the backfield now for the Bills. This offensive line, you got to have 7 guys, and that's what Marrone is looking at, the top 7 offensive linemen, to see how they're doing.
Deep shot down the right sideline. Marcus Easley comes up with the grab as Toole kind of just lays it up there. The defender fell down, and Easley makes the grab for a pickup of 23. And there's my shot down the field. This is what I'm looking for.
And this is the perfect throw from Toole. I mean, he's a good deep ball quarterback. He throws it out there, lets his receiver adjust to it, and puts it out where it's out in front of him so he can run underneath it.
Zach Brown cuts back into some heavy traffic. Nowhere to go there. Pickup of 1 on the play as LeSue makes the play.
That's what receivers love, is a quarterback who throws it out there and lets them run underneath it, lets them go get the football. And as a deep ball quarterback, Toole knows that and does a very good job of letting his receivers get to the football.
Hands it again actually fakes it to Zach Brown, throws it down the field. The flag comes out as it looked like
Marco Sampson got tangled up, yeah. This is going to be illegal contact down the field as Sampson did a little stomp, move, and go, the defensive back.
They're going to call it the full Monty, the pass interference, and not the illegal contact.
Marche Green, who fell down on the play before that, working and gave up the big pass, gets this one against him as well, as Sampson does the stomp move. Green bumps into him.
Brown goes off the left side, picks up a couple as the Bills are moving the ball down the field. Delano Howell makes the tackle. A couple of nice deeper throws from Jeff Toole on this drive thus far.
You know, and it's interesting because you always wonder what makes good coaches and good players. One thing that makes a good coach is when you let your players do what they do best. And no question, Toole is a good deep ball thrower. As you see a great route there to Easley. Toole's a great deep ball thrower. Let him throw the deep ball when he gets in there. You haven't thrown it all game, and it's just like E.J. Manuel. In some cases, not that he's not a deep ball thrower, but you want him to manage the offense. You're giving him plays that makes him make decisions and make them correctly. And I think both these young guys have looked really good doing it.
Cassius Vaughn is the injured Colt down on the play. They're tending to him. Meanwhile, this drive for the Bills has gone on now for 9 plays as they find themselves in what looks to be a first and goal situation right from the 10-yard line. And while they tend to Cassius Vaughn, we will take a break. A local timeout here for you as the score is the Bills 20, the Colts. Bills on the move with a 20-13 lead as rookie quarterback Jeff Toole doing a nice job. He's 4 for 4 for 55 yards here on first and goal. He hands it to Zach Brown. Brown off the right side, giving 3 on the play, and the Bills will look at second and goal from the 7.
And now Jeff Toole steps up, hurries up the offensive line, gets them lined up, does not give the defense a chance to gather itself, and quick snap.
Hands it off again to Brown, and the Colts were waiting for that one. Nowhere for him to go. Gets maybe a yard before Alan Chapman puts the stops to him and brings up a 3rd down. More than likely, Toole will go to the air. His receivers out on the field right now are DeMarco Sampson, DeRick Rogers, and Marcus Easley. And DeRick Rogers is at the very top of your screen. And that's where he's looking. Throws the slant. Rogers, touchdown. Rick Rogers with a nice inside cut, and Toole looking down the whole way and throws the strike, and you don't get touchdowns much easier than that as the Bills extend their lead.
That was an impressive drive. That's a nice, patient route. He's working there against Sheldon Price of the Colts, and Price just freezes his feet. Rick Rogers runs right at him and snaps off the slant route, and that was a pretty easy touchdown.
Ryan Lindell on to tack on the extra point, and he does so, and the Bills extend their lead now to 14 with a 27-13 margin over the Colts with 10:33 here to go in the 3rd quarter as the 12-play, 80-yard drive caps off in the Toole touchdown pass. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the Indianapolis Colts, as the Bills bringing it right now. 10:33 left here in the 3rd. They're up 14, 27-13 over the Colts after that 80-yard drive. You see the numbers, 11 plays, 4:27 off the clock, and Toole hits Derrick Rogers for the touchdown. Ryan Liddell kicks this one off. Kerwin Williams will take it 3 yards deep. Williams straight up the field until he runs into a wall at about the 21-yard line, giving him a 24-yard return on the play as the Colts will come out and start to play a little offense while I tell you about the Kids Day coming up. Friday, August 16th is Kids Day at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Enjoy kids-themed tailgating, a post-game fireworks show, a special Kids Day giveaway, and much more. Kids 14 and under, only $15 with the purchase of an adult ticket. So bring them on out there and get your tickets. Log on to BuffaloBills.com right now for Buffalo Bills Kids Day, an event for the whole family coming up this coming Friday. 1st and 10 from the 21. Delone Carter back with Harnish as the quarterback hits the crossing route underneath. Gets the ball out to the 35-yard line, does Griff Whalen, who makes the reception. T.J. Heath with the coverage and tackle for the Bills.
The Bills had a coverage blown on that. Come out and just was wide open. It was an easy throw. Easy throw. And that's the kind of thing that happens in the second half of these preseason games. You get guys who just make a mental mistake.
1st and 10 from their own 34. Harnish hands this one off to Delone Carter. Carter to the outside to the left, gets it up to the 43-yard line. That's where he's stopped again by T.J. Heath.
Yeah, it's interesting about these Colts. We said in the first half they wanted to have a more of a physical identity with their run game, bring in 2 backs, 2 tight ends a little more often, run the football hard off inside tackle and off the outside of the tackles. Just make themselves a little bit more of a physical offensive team with the running game. And they've done that a little bit here today.
Pep Hamilton, their first-year offensive coordinator, knows the Stanford system well, and that's what they're trying to implement here pretty much, as Harnish overthrows Levon Brazil on the left side. T.J. Heath getting a lot of action. He had the coverage on that play.
Yeah, he had him well covered on that play. I mean, you'll watch as this ball comes down, you'll see as Heath just gets in front of him, there's just no place for that football to be fit in.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down now and 2 for the Colts, who keep it in the shotgun formation. Quick throw to the outside, one-on-one out there, and that's a great defensive play as Nathan Palmer made the grab, but Don Butler comes up with the big stop to force the punt.
And that's a big play. He broke on it extremely well, and that's what he has to do. If you give the receiver, just about any receiver, enough time with the ball in his hands and that much space, he's going to make the first guy miss. But Butler comes up, reads it so quickly that Palmer just doesn't have any chance to even make a move and get up the field. That was well defended. Great play.
Looks like Derek Burrows, our old teammate, with that 29 on, same kind of build. Hopefully he can play as well as Burrows did in his day as the punt. It sails over the head for McAfee over T.J. Graham's head into the end zone for a touchback. A 57-yarder, 37 net, and the Bills will get the football back with Jeff Toole running the show. 8:37 left here in the 3rd. 27-13 Bills over the Colts after this local. Bills 27, Colts 13 here early in the 3rd quarter. Buffalo gets the ball for the 2nd time here in the 2nd half. In that initial drive, Jeff Toole led him down the field. He was 5 for 5 for 61 yards and had the touchdown pass to Derrick Rogers.
And now they come out, don't even huddle up, run right to the line of scrimmage, and Toole will take the snap with 2 backs.
Zach Brown cuts off the right side, finds a little bit of a hole, picks up 4 on the play.
You know, the thing about these last 2 drives, and it looks like the start of this one, the Bills are committed to running the football on 1st down, 2nd down, and that's part of having a good run game, is running it when there's not much there to be had, even when you're not getting much out of it. You've got to make the defense continue to play the run, even if they're doing a good job stopping it.
So this will bring up a 3rd down now and 6. Another Colt player is lying injured on the field.
Ricardo Matthews, perhaps? No, it's not. It is Montori Hughes.
Hughes being tended to by the Colts medical staff. In the meantime, we will take a timeout as well, a network timeout for all you affiliates. Bills 27. 8 minutes, 4 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bills up 14 over the Colts, 27-13. And rookie quarterback Jeff Toole engineered a 80-yard touchdown drive, his first series. Here he faces a 3rd down and 4 from his own 26. Looking to his left, completes it again, the slant route, which he hit the touchdown on. This time he finds Marcus Easley, and the Bills move the chains. And Toole is perfect so far on 3rd down in his play this afternoon.
And now they continue to go no huddle, and it's good that, you see E.J. Manuel do it. He's a first-round draft pick. Jeff Toole is not a first-round draft pick. He wasn't drafted, and yet he's running the same offense. No huddle, up at the line.
Play action.
Nice throw.
Timing route. He hits Marcus Easley on the bench route there, and the timing was perfect, and the throw from Toole was outstanding.
And we got a penalty back in the Bills' backfield. And that's roughing the passer. And look here, Robert Woods, 4 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. T.J. Graham, 1 for 9. DeRick Rogers, 1 for 6 and a touchdown. And Marquise Goodwin. Those 3 guys, and you see this right here. That is 3 touchdowns. The Bills have all scored 3 touchdowns today, all of them by rookies.
And that's got to make you feel good if you're the Bills receivers coach, which Ike Hilliard is, working those young guys in and getting them going.
And they're getting it. And they're getting the two touchdown throws were from 2 rookie quarterbacks as well. So
youth movement going on.
And it spells good things. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more.
Toole gets it out quickly to the outside, catches the ball is Drew Smith. Smith gets it down to the 30-yard line. A quick dump out of the backfield.
Drew Smith, one of the fullbacks. He's a bigger guy. He's 6'2", 225, out of Albany.
Undrafted rookie who had 45 career TDs, set the record at Albany. Brown with a cutback, and he'll force the change forward another 3 yards, bring up another 3rd down. As Toole now 7 for 7 for 81 yards and the touchdown, but he is perfect, a 2 for 2 in conversions on his 3rd down attempts thus far. Facing a 3rd down and 4 now.
Good job by Toole. He's got his receivers and running backs were a little bit confused about where to line up. He got them done. Now they're still 10 seconds on the play clock.
Throw a rubber out to the outside here. That's it. And he makes the throw and the completion to Marcus Easley. Nice strategy. Move the alignment inside, create the room on the outside, get a little friction between them defenders, and throw the pass.
Here's the strategy. I'll tell you, here's the strategy for Jeff Toole. Find Marcus Easley, throw him the football. You get a young quarterback, and you get a guy like Marcus Easley, who when he came out was very, very highly sought after. Now we all know he's had a tough run of injuries, but when he's healthy, Marcus Easley is really gifted, and Toole is smart enough to know it. You can see on this drive he's finding it.
Dumps it outside and finds Easley once again, and he is about a yard shy, 82 of that 1st down.
Quarterbacks are smart guys. They know how to make the team, and it is to complete your passes. And if you got a guy that you can't miss with, throw him the football every down he's on the field. It sounds simple, but a lot of guys can't do it.
Well, it's simple, as Marv Levy used to say, but it isn't easy. As Toole, his first incompletion, he had been 9 for 9 coming into this one. Overshoots his tight end Chris Gregg in a shot to the end zone. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 yards for the Bills to continue this drive.
Yeah, that was a pretty good throwaway. Although I don't know if Toole was actually trying to hit Craig. He threw it at him, but that was a high throw, and it was well covered.
Pressure comes as Toole is not able to handle the snap. That falls on the ground, and the Bills recover it. Zach Brown jumps on it, and that'll at least salvage the field goal attempt.
That's the one thing you didn't want to happen, and Toole tapped his center on the shoulder, maybe to say it was my bad or get the snap up. But it looked like a pretty good snap, and it might have been actually a direct snap. I'd like to see it because it looked like Zach Brown was coming across in front of him. I don't know that that's the case, but that's the last thing you want to happen on a 3rd and short when you got a chance to run your 2nd touchdown in for the 2nd half for a rookie quarterback.
30-yard field goal try by Ryan Lindell. And he'll split the uprights, so the Bills come up with 3 out of that drive and extend their lead now to 30-13 with 4:39 left to go here in the third quarter. And Doug Marrone, he's not going to call off the dogs. He's letting them know as we'll take a local timeout. The Bills looking good.
Tool is under center, and that leaves the ball laying on the ground. And as Dave Snow came off the field as we went to break, Coach Doug Marrone gave him an earful for that mistake, because that is an enormous mistake. And right here, you'll see him. Look at him. He is not happy, and Jeff Toole is talking to him, tells him what happened, and Marrone turns around and walks over and seeks Dave Snow out, and he wants a piece of it.
Kerwin Williams stumbles around with the rolling kick that came from Lindell, and the coverage teams are there, led by Chris White, who makes the stop. Another one inside the 10-yard line. That's twice now the Bills have covered kickoffs, actually 3 times. I don't know if the one was outside the 10, but 3 of them right around the 10-yard line. That's excellent coverage.
That's big. And it's also big that, Doug Marrone in a preseason game, when you're up by 2 touchdowns, is not letting his players off the hook. I mean, he is holding them accountable, and I mean, he was angry, and Dave Snow is going to lay awake tonight thinking about it. And I said that a couple of times, and it's really true. These guys really live with the mistakes they make in games like this.
Play action, Harnish gets hit as he lets it go down the middle, incomplete, as the pressure was on from Marcus Doughton. He's the one who took that one away. Just want to let you know our First Down technology for today's game is brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota August sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. 2nd and 10 now for the Colts offense.
And this is the time again we talked to Coach Marrone, about his philosophy and what he does, and he lets his coordinators call the game, and the most he gets involved is if he'll say run it or pass it on offense, and on defense it's just the opposite. He'll say pass coverage or pressure, and it's kind of like that on defense. So Marrone standing over on the sidelines on a 2nd and 10, he may say, you know what, we've got him down, and he goes, let's bring some pressure, and he'll chime in on both sides of the football. But he has really let his coordinators, and that's the reason you bring those guys in. You got to trust them. And as a head coach, you get so much stuff dumped in your lap, you haven't got time to think about run, pass, or the specific call, because you've got to think about timeouts, clock management, personnel groupings, and other things as well. So I think he's doing the right thing. It's great that he had the experience and the successful experience he had at Syracuse, because I think it's shining through even at this early stage in Buffalo.
Harnish gets hit as he tries to let it go on 3rd and 5 as the pressure comes up the middle from Jerron Gilbert. And that will force the Colts into a punt. Good pressure on this, as the last 2 times Harnish has dropped back to pass, he's had a body draped on him.
Yeah, no question about it. Gilbert comes up, and also Jerry Hughes coming off the edge. The Bills have got some guys who can come off the edge. Jerry Hughes has been given the offensive tackles of the Bills fits with his speed rush. And today the Colts are kind of starting to get an idea of that as well.
Punt comes out from near the Colts end zone. Nickel Roby fields it at his own 41, makes a first man miss, gets to the edge, cuts back inside, gets it across midfield up to the 48-yard line of the Colts. A 47-yard punt.
You look at the Bills, their offense takes the field again with Jeff Toole still at quarterback, and you look back at the first half with E.J. Manuel, his numbers 16 of 21 for 107 and a touchdown, and Jeff Toole 10 for 11 for 106 and a touchdown. Those are 2 pretty good looking halves of football. Of course, Jeff Toole's got a lot of football to play, but E.J. Manuel, with the 2-minute drill he put together at the end of the first half, neither quarterback has turned the football over. It spells really good things for the Buffalo Bills.
Winning the field position battle now, starting this drive in Colts territory. Zach Brown off the right side. That's the 3rd consecutive first down run from the Bills as they're trying to grind it out a little bit more here in the second half.
Far be it from me to make generalizations, but when you've got an offense that does not turn the football over and runs it pretty well and hangs in there, plus a defense that's a get after him, turnover creating defense with a nasty pass rush, as we see it running up inside again, you're going to win a lot of football games, because there are teams out there, and Bills fans have seen their own team do this over the years, they beat themselves.
Yes.
They mistake the football game away. And if you can keep away from those mistakes, and you got a talented and aggressive defense, you're going to win some games.
3rd and 6. Toole throws it to the outside, and that one was just dropped by DeMarco Sampson. Sheldon Price there with the coverage, and it looked like Sampson wasn't quite expecting it to be there when it was.
Well, Sampson tipped it to himself a couple of different times and just couldn't pull it in. After, see right here, he pulls in one, gets it up there, and right there it bangs on the ground, didn't pull it in. Couldn't get his hands free to get them both up there at once. That's when the ball has to come out. Toole did a nice job, put it where it needed to be on the automatic throw behind, but they just couldn't convert.
Brian Stahovich set to punt for the first time. Back to return, Marche Green. And he backspins this one, and it is caught and downed by Garrison Sanborn, the Bills long snapper. It's his name mentioned for the second time today. This 2013 draft class for the Bills, in fact, the last several I think have been on the upswing. I really like this group, Steve.
Well, you look at those top 3 guys, Kiko Alonso, the linebacker, and Robert Woods and E.J. Manuel. Those guys, I think, can be difference makers right away. Absolutely. And I think they're going to play a lot. You're going to see a lot of them. Marquise Goodwin is going to be involved in the return game. And all these guys down here, the 2 DBs, Jonathan Meeks and Duke Williams, are going to add depth. But this is a team in Buffalo that's got some pretty good athletes on the front line. And I think those top 3 or 4 guys, Woods, Alonso, and Emmanuel especially, are really going to be difference makers, and Bills fans are going to see them not only for a lot this year, but for a long career with all of them. I think those guys are going to be great.
Robert Hughes drops the pass on the bootleg from Harnish. Wide open there, just couldn't bring it in. Bills had a chance, chased him into the end zone there briefly for a second, but weren't able to do anything. Arthur Moats had that initial pressure along with Marcus Doughton.
Well, they brought Doughton and Moats, and somebody had to fall off to cover the back. Moats or Doughton probably were one of the 2 that had to do that, or maybe perhaps somebody from the inside, but somebody left him running by himself, and that was a mistake, and the Bills got away with it due to the drop.
2nd and 10. Harnish has Delone Carter next to him, switches him over to the other side, and the delay of game penalty is called. That'll back the Colts up 5 more. It'll be 2nd and 15 from their own 5. And one thing we've seen, Steve.
Correction. Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Indianapolis.
All right, we'll make it 2nd and 10. From the 10, first time out here of the second half used by the Colts. Saved themselves 5 yards there in that deal. But the point I was trying to make here prior to that was the special teams domination by Buffalo in this ball game. Not only have they scored on special teams, but they've given the Colts 90 yards to go several times with their kickoff and punt coverage.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job. Now the Colts had one nice play where the punter hit the ball inside the 5 and it bounced straight up. That's the one positive on special teams that the Colts have had, and that was something that was out of the Bills' control. Robert Woods did the exact right thing in letting it go over his head, and they got the good bounce to Indianapolis. But you're right, it's been complete domination by Buffalo on special teams in field position, and of course with the long touchdown in the return game. It's been a huge difference maker.
Under center is Harnish on 2nd and 10. Throws it down the seam, just overshoots his intended receiver, Griff Whalen. Nice coverage on the play by Kip Edwards. It brings up 3rd down and 10 now for the Colts.
You see as these teams, and you can see the difference. You can feel the difference in the pace of the game as the Colts continue to huddle up, take their time, run the play clock down. The Bills not doing any of that offensively. And when you do that as the Bills, no question it's a double-edged sword in some respects. You can go quickly, go 3 and out, and your defense is back on the field. But it also, when your offense does huddle up, the defensive line of your opponent always stays fresh.
Blitz comes, and he is trapped in the backfield by Kip Edwards. And Harnish was fortunate to get out of the end zone. They'll mark him at the 1-yard line as the blitz comes on a 3rd and 10. And Edwards gets himself the sack.
Well, that was a delayed blitz. He came from deep. He's going to come from off your screen all the way from back here. And Harnish sees him, but then can't decide what to do with the football. You see he comes way from deep in the secondary. Harnish didn't see him until too late, tried to step up away from it, and it's just too late. Great speed.
Well, normally your punter
by Edwards
is 14 yards back. The Colts only have room to get about 10. And McAfee still gets away, a one-step punt high into the air. Nickel Roby will catch it at his own 48 with room to run, and here he goes up the middle of the field. Roby to the outside. A flag comes in. 2 flags come in as Roby is stopped at the 37-yard line. Boy, I hate it when they run sideways when they have 10 yards of space in front of them. Go get that 10 right now.
Yeah, that's catch it and go straight up the football field. It's just as hard to tackle you when you've got speed going both ways as it is when they're trying to chase you down side to side.
I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to get a guy who's going sideways.
It is, and it's better field position. And it's just the wrong thing to do. You can do it when you're faster than everybody else. When you're a 13-year-old playing against 10-year-olds.
Illegal block in the back. Number 47, the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Dominique Ellis gets caught on the penalty, but let's take a look at these touchdowns by the Bills. Here it is, the end of the Goodwin 107-yard return for a touchdown. There's Dickerson catching the ball from E.J. Manuel at the end of the first half, and there's Tools touchdown to Rogers, the slant off to the backside, and a lot of young guys giving the Bills a lot of production here today.
Both the throwing touchdowns were by rookie quarterbacks for the Bills, E.J. Manuel and Jeff Toole. As Toole comes out, and once again they go no huddle and right to the line of scrimmage.
Take it off the left side with Zach Brown. He'll get a couple. And one thing some notes that I have from my crack stat crew, T.J. Bentley and Ron Bentley. No nepotism involved in bringing those guys here, but
I feel out of place in the Bentley household.
Buffalo, 20 minutes, 49 seconds possession. They've run 59 plays. Indianapolis, 21-48. They've run 50 plays. The tempo that the Bills have run in this game shows you what's going on right there. Here's a complete pass. Flag comes out late as Kaufman makes the catch, enough for the first down. We'll see what the flag is.
Holding, number 66 to the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Thomas Welch, the backup left tackle, third-year man out of Vandy, who played a little tight end in college, put on 15 pounds this year, still didn't keep him from holding.
Right here, and it's going to be late at the end of the play. He comes off. The flag didn't come in until way after the pass was there, and then there you see that, and then it was a sell job, no question. He had his arm to the outside. His body was outside the defender's body, and he still had him across the chest, and that's what they'll call.
And you know, all he has to do is let him go at that point. The play was pretty much over, but I understand that feel will come.
Yeah. Right, you don't know that until the play's over, but yeah, you're right. You got to feel the timing of the route as a lineman.
Toole on a double move, throws it to the outside, and that one is complete to Brandon Kaufman, and he out-battles Daxton Swanson for the ball, thrown in there nicely by Toole, but I got to give the credit to the receiver Kaufman on that one.
Yeah, Kaufman went up and battled for it. They were in a hand fight right here on the sideline. Watch stomp and go, and watch him just climb over, stays in bounds, and Toole, and I love that as a quarterback. It wasn't the greatest throw, wasn't the greatest route. Right? Give your guy a chance, and when you do that, a guy like Kaufman will come down with it, and the next time you start expecting him to come down with it, and then you start playing it, and then teams expect not to win those battles, and it just steamrolls. I love that play.
30-13, the Bills with the lead. 15 minutes to go in this one. Doug Marrone looking good in the debut. We'll take a network timeout. This game is brought to you in part by Toyota. The Toyota August sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the official coffee of the Buffalo Bills. Bills knocking on the door with a 17-point lead as we start the fourth quarter. Yes, you heard that right. First and 10 from the 28. Off to the left side goes Zach Brown. Not a lot of room there as the Bills continue to pound the ball on first down here in the second half. And Steve, you and I were talking during the break, trying to remember the last time the Bills had this kind of comfortable lead heading into the fourth quarter of a preseason game. And we can't recall any time during our 6 years together.
No, I can't. And you and I have been hit on the head a couple of times too, so it might be our memories. But this is as good as the Bills have looked in a preseason game in all phases as I can remember. And certainly even when you and I played, we were horrible in the preseason, even in Super Bowl years. So it's not something you see, and it's not something a lot of teams put a lot of stock in. But as we said, in the keys to the game, Doug Marrone said, hey, listen, they're keeping score, we're going to win. And
he kind of said we might as well win, but he had that look on his face. You knew he was underplaying a little bit, a little sarcasm there. He might as well win. No, he wants to win.
He wanted to win.
He does. Tua with plenty of time actually gets hit late. The ball is loose on the field. No whistle. And the Colts are going to go with it the other way. Daxton Swanson, no one around him. And he'll bring it all the way back to the house. And I don't know. That looked almost like a forward pass to me. I'm sure that one will be reviewed.
Yeah, that'll be reviewed all right. And the officials are told to let it play out. And if
they did.
And there's as much chance that this is not going to count as there is at this point. Unless Tua's going to go back. If his hand is going forward.
That alarm's got to go off a little bit quicker.
Oh, that's
look
at
a fumble.
That. It's spiral. That's not a fumble.
You sure?
The ball came out forward in a spiral.
But the hand never came forward.
Yeah,
though.
it did.
See, now we're in the living room arguing.
That's a
I want to see it
That's
again.
a defensive player talking.
Caesar.
Watch his hand. Forward. The ball's. How can the ball fly 10 yards forward and not have his hand go forward? And the guy hit him from the front backwards.
Matter of physics, as Caesar Rayford had the hit on Tua. We'll take a local timeout as this one is being challenged, and we'll let you know what happens on the backside. 30-20, Bills lead.
In charge of that. That's their camera, which we can use when we feel the need, but it's not working. So that's an angle
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, apparently the official figured out the answer to your question.
You can explain it to me if you want. I ain't going to buy it.
The ball went forward, but the arm didn't. Well, nonetheless, it's a moot point. The score is good, and the Colts have closed this thing to within 11 points here before this extra point attempt by Brandon McManus. And McManus tacks it on and makes it 30-20 here with 13:46 to go in the fourth. A big defensive play forces a turnover and the touchdown as the Colts close the margin. And that was one of those controversial ones that people will be arguing about forever.
Well, here's a different angle. Now you tell me how the ball can go forward if his arm isn't going to go forward. His arm was going forward. The ball went forward. The ball spiraled out of there like a pass. And they're saying that was a fumble. And his hand was not empty going forward.
Dax Swanson, the beneficiary, picks that ball up, goes 72 yards to the house. And the Colts get some points here in the second half.
It's always been one of those gray areas. They used to have the tuck rule, and now they've kind of tinkered with that. And now they and it's if the ball goes forward, what if it goes backwards? And even then, sometimes if he got
a lateral, right?
And they used to call it an incomplete pass, even if it went backwards. So I mean, it's really a difficult thing. It depends on what the league wants. If they want cheap fumbles in the pocket, they're going to call that a fumble, and if they don't, they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Ray Bentley with Steve Tasker bringing you Bills preseason football as Marcus Easley takes the kick from 5 yards deep, and he'll get this one out to the 17 before he is brought down. Bills up 30-20 with 13:40 here to go in this ball game, and had outstanding play from their quarterbacks. That was the first turnover we've seen from the quarterbacks. Jeff Toole being charged with that fumble, even though it certainly wasn't his fault. Although I do say he's got to get rid of that ball a little quicker. That alarm has to go off.
Well, the speed rush on the outside got there really quick. It was a 5-step drop, and he was throwing it on time, but he got whacked, no question.
Kendall Gaskins checks into the game at tailback for the first time for the Bills. He'll take the handoff and push it forward for a couple of yards off the left side. Gaskins exploded in the team scrimmage, had a really nice ball game and created some excitement And we'll see if he can continue that. A rookie out of Richmond, where he scored 38 touchdowns. He's just 22 years old, but looks like he can bring it a little bit. We'll see. Play action. Toole scrambles to his right. Finds a man open downfield. Completes this one for a first down. DeMarco Sampson shakes himself loose on the scramble drill.
That's a great job by Toole getting outside the pocket. And what happens, sometimes a young quarterback will buy himself time when he moves out away from the pocket. But when he does, then he wants to get rid of the football. But Toole has a great sense of poise, waits, and then finally Sampson comes open.
This one is pretty much stopped before it starts. Flags come out.
Holding, 66 to the offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Second time Thomas Welch has been called from Vanderbilt on the hold. The Bills managed to overcome the last holding call in the last drive and continue to get first downs.
Well, this one will put them in a first down and 20 situation.
The thing that's impressed me about both these quarterbacks, Toole and E.J. Manuel, is the fact that they just stayed within themselves and played with a lot of poise and continued just to be patient and allow the game to come to them. They both made a couple of nice plays. E.J. Manuel, as you see there, Sampson catching another play. E.J. Manuel with a 29-yard run, and then never a pass over 10 yards, and then all of a sudden the 15-yard touchdown pass. And Toole has been the same way, very patient, staying within himself. Both these quarterbacks have really impressed today.
Bill's got about half of that back. Brings up a second down and 10 after the Sampson catch. Hand off to Gaskins. And he runs into trouble off the right side as the blocking broke down. Looked like Nick Provo, the tight end over there, got manhandled.
Yeah, Gaskins missed the hole. This play is designed to go back here, and Gaskins continues to go out to the offensive right. See there, the play was designed to go right back there inside the trap block, and Gaskins bounces it the wrong way, and he missed the inside run that would have been a much better play.
Loses a couple. Third down and 12 for Jeff Toole. Throws another one underneath, a little crossing route to Kendall Gaskins coming out of the backfield. He'll end up a couple yards short of the first down. The Bills will bring out the punting unit. Toole now 13 of 15 on the day for 160 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble.
And that's a drive that was stalled because of a holding penalty. And they, Bills couldn't. They overcame it on the last drive, even though the drive ended on a fumble touchdown. This time they could not get the first down on a 1st and 20.
Marshae Green back to handle the Stahovich punt. Takes it at his own 12, makes the first man miss, and the rest of the coverage shows up, and he'll make 6 yards on the return after a 44-yard Stahovich punt. Chris White with his second special teams tackle of the day. We'll take a local timeout. 10:51 left in this one. Bills with a 10-point lead. The lead, 10:51 here to go in the ball game. Colts with the ball at their own 19. Harnish at quarterback. Took over in the second quarter late and has been in there since. Tries to throw across his body. He got roughed up a little bit in the backfield with the pressure, and the pass was not able to get there. Watch the pressure coming from both sides, actually.
Yeah, it's Blatnick coming off with the left tackle, Gilbert, and also
Gilbert's the one
Izon
that,
Cross is in the game as well.
Gilbert's the one that got the hand in there and put the chop on the arm of Harnish, basically breaking that play up. Second nice play by Gilbert that we've seen.
Bill's going with straight 4-man rush at the moment.
2nd and 10, Harnish from the gun. Has time, dumps it down over the middle. Nothing else open. He'll complete this one to Dominique Jones. And that'll put the Colts in 3rd and short as Jordan Dangerfield makes the play for Buffalo.
Talk about these young defensive linemen, no question. This is an opportunity for them, but they're not getting any help from schemes. I mean, it's a straight 4-man rush. So these defensive linemen, and Gilbert, and Cross, and all these guys, they're going to have to do it man on man and get to the quarterback because they're not getting any help from extra rushers.
3rd and short, incomplete. They say the ball hit the ground even though the receiver ended up hanging on to it. So Whalen does not get credit for that catch. And the Bills defense forces another punt.
Yeah, called immediately as the ball come in. We'll see if it one hops or skips right at the receiver. Yep, not even close. Harnish went to the right guy. The question was, it's just a bad throw.
Pat McAfee on to punt the football. This will be the 6th punt of the day for McAfee on a 4th down and 2. Back to receive, Nickel Roby. Roby gathers under this one at the 25-yard line. Makes first man miss, gets to the edge, stays alive, gets it out to the 35. 10-yard return on the 52-yard punt from McAfee. We'll take a timeout. The Bills offense gets the football back. A network break here for you. Bills up 30-20, 9:52 left in the contest. 20 as they take over the football. And Steve, we had the pleasure of having an informal confab with Coach Marone, and I was just impressed with his intensity about it. And he expressed the same thing we kind of wondered was, how is this team going to react? How are they going to play? And he said, what I want to find out is flat out how tough we are.
Yeah, and it's hard to find that out when you don't have 2-a-days and a lot of padded practices.
Pass gets tipped, Toole incomplete on that one. I'm sorry. It was tipped by Lawrence Sidbury. So incomplete from Toole. He was looking for his fullback on that one, Kendall Gaskins.
And the Bills continually no huddle, stepping right up to the line of scrimmage.
Keeping that pace rolling. Throws a slant back to the left side. That one is complete to DeMarco Sampson. And they have been successful with that play all day long. Is that from a pre-snap look that they're getting this? Or
yeah, I think for the quarterback it is, and there's no question he picks a guy and goes right to him. Toole is not making any decisions on that throw. He's deciding before the ball is snapped he's going to give it a shot, and then he just finds the window and plants it.
Back to the ground on 1st and 10. Gaskins pushes the pile on the right side for a gain of a couple.
And this is, just you think about this, the Bills are not in a hurry. They are not huddling, but they're not in a hurry. And one thing this does, there's a couple of things, and it is, like I said, you run the risk of getting off the field quick if you go 3 and out. But the fact that they don't huddle puts the defense in just a little bit more of a stressed situation, and it asks a little bit more of them.
Nice call on this play. Hackett dials up the bootleg on 2nd and medium, and Chris Gregg is able to pull it in from Jeff Toole. And it'll be just a yard shy of the 1st down.
And this is the exact play that has gotten the Bills a couple of times today. They run a hard play action to one side and then sneak a guy out the back, or run a guy from the other side across shallow. Even in the backfield, he'll pop out the other side, and the quarterback just lofts it to him on an easy throw.
Gaskins picks up the 1st down on a cutback. And that's the play that will always work against young linebackers. I can tell you that from experience.
Yeah, they kind of. It's interesting. We've been talking about the Bills' young linebackers, and we'll talk a little bit more if the Bills go back on defense about your perspective on being a young linebacker, because the Bills have so many of them, and they've played very well for the most part today. But in that respect, the Bills, a rookie quarterback, taking advantage of a linebacker because you're just too antsy to get after the play action.
Couple-yard pickup by Gaskins on that. Brings up a 2nd down and 8 now. Toole running the offense with rhythm out of the shotgun. Throws the comeback, the curl route, complete to DeMarco Sampson. And Sampson did get enough for the 1st down as he came back to catch the football.
Toole, this is exactly what you see in practice from Jeff Toole. Very accurate, pretty confident with his throws as well. He doesn't seem to hesitate once he makes the decision. The ball comes out. He's got a quick release and certainly a strong enough arm. And I like the fact right here, as he gets his guys lined up, DeRick Rogers lining up on the wrong side of the football. Toole got him lined up right.
Excuse me, Steve. DeMarco Sampson, 4 catches on the day. He's looking pretty good out there as Gaskins takes it to the right side, gets through a seam, shows a little more speed and explosion. He's actually moving faster than he looks. He's got to be, right? picks up the first down.
Well, this is what a lot of running backs do, the good ones do. Watch this. He runs out, and then right there, one cut up the field and go. You know, so much we've seen today where a guy will bounce in and out, kind of juke and throw a move in the hole. You just stick your foot in the ground, go up inside the first tackler, and take what they give you. In this case, it was a really good run, but that's a lot of effective runners run just like that. One cut, gone.
Thomas Welch injured on the play. The Bills training staff, led by Bud Carpenter, checking him out. We'll take a break. The Bills up 30-20. This is a local time. And you see there the medical staff looking at Thomas Welch. Bree Sanders comes in for him and gives me an opportunity to remind you the first down technology for today's game is brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota August sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. First down and 10. Jeff Toole doing a nice job, runs the bootleg, got a man wide open, throw it. Oh, he waited way too long and let that play develop, and Chris Gregg couldn't bring it in, but you got to get that out to him right now.
Well, he didn't want to. That's the thing. We talked about how patient he was being. This time, he was being a little too patient. He wanted to wait on the deep routes down here on the corner. Watch, he wanted to see these guys come all the way across from the other side of the field. He had guys down here trying to get to the back of the end zone to Rick Rogers, and the tight end couldn't get there.
Handoff to Frank Summers up the middle. He'll pick up a couple of yards as Summers gets his first carry of the day. 15 different Bills have a catch in this ball game. That's an unbelievable number, led by Marcus Easley, 7 grabs for 94 yards. And then you have Sampson with 4 for 48 and Woods with 4 for 32. Jeff Toole, 17 of 20 for 201, a touchdown, and that fumble that was debatable. Third down and 10. Bills have to get to the 2-yard line to convert. Dumps it outside. He's got his back, Gaskins. He lowers the head, gets it up to the 5 before he stopped. And that more than likely will bring out the field goal team as C.O. Prime
they're going to go for it.
And Swanson make the tackle.
Marone keeping the defense or the field goal team on the sidelines. He got a 4th and about a long 3. And they're going to leave him out there and let him go for it. And they can get a first down as well, so that gives them a little extra. And really, in this case, the goal line is actually the 2.5-yard line, because once you get there, you get the first down.
This is a preseason type decision. I don't think Doug Marone would do it in the regular season, but maybe he will with that result. Brandon Kaufman on the slant again. Toole to Kaufman.
Nice dunk.
And it's good.
Well, they had everybody lined up to the left-hand side, all these guys over here, and there's one guy isolated one-on-one on the far side.
Boy, the Colts.
And the Colts, yeah.
They do him a favor. They're covering paint back there.
Yeah, the Colts leave Daxton Swanson by himself with a lot of space over there, and the Bills took advantage of it.
Ryan Lindell on to boot another extra point, and this one is good, and the Bills capitalize on a 4th down try inside the 5 and score the touchdown to take a 37-20 lead. This was a 12-play drive that covered 65 yards, ate up 4 minutes and 34 seconds off the clock. That's the second 12 or more play drive led by Jeff Toole. It's been Toole time here in the second half.
Yeah, and he's played really well. I mean, the only things that you could say bad about is the one where we just saw where he tried to wait too long and then couldn't find the check down receiver. But then, and the fumble perhaps that I still don't think was a fumble, and really it was a rush from his blind side that got there very quickly that he couldn't release the football. Other than that, he's been pretty much flawless. Been finding the right receivers, making quick decisions, and making accurate throws. He's taken a couple of shots down the field that have been good, gave his receivers a chance to come through for him. He's played extremely well.
Both young quarterbacks for the Bills playing extremely well today. Combined, they're 35 of 44.
That's pretty good.
That's not too shabby. You do the math, and it's 322 yards, and you throw 3 touchdowns on top of that with no interceptions. That's not a bad day.
Yeah, you shrug your shoulders and say, hey, nice. And I'll tell you, you look back at E.J. Manuel, they both are playing the same way, and you can look at Nate Hackett and say, wow, what a job he's doing with these young guys, because they're both playing the same type of football. No hurry, no panic. They're taking the shots that are there. They're being very patient, and that when you get two different quarterbacks that are playing the exact same way, you can really tip your hat to the coaching staff for doing a nice job with it.
And kickoff goes 3 yards deep, and Sembrano gets waylaid at the 12. Great coverage again by the Bills special teams. Terrell Sinkfield makes the tackle on this particular one. You got to wonder what Kevin Cobb is thinking down there on the sidelines as we take another look at these special team plays.
Yeah, he's thinking, I wish I was playing and getting some of this. There's no question. Great job by the special teams once again. That's DeMarco Sampson and Terrell Sinkfield.
And they need those receivers. They're going to be needed on special teams, and that will help them make this ball club if they can show up like that. 1st and 10, Colts from their own 12. Harnish throws it outside, and that one is just broken up immediately. Intended for Davin Meggett. Jamal Roll makes the stop or the play for the Bills. As we talk about the upcoming remaining preseason schedule, this Friday it's Kids Day at Ralph Wilson Stadium. The Minnesota Vikings in town, 7 o'clock kickoff there. And then on the 24th, Saturday, the Bills go to Washington to play the Redskins. And the preseason wraps up Thursday, August 29th, as the Buffalo Bills come the Detroit Lions come to town to play the Buffalo Bills. 2nd and 10 now for Harnish. Bills bring 5. And this one is intercepted. He got one. Roll after making the last play. Makes another, and he scores on the backside of it.
Wow. I'll tell you what, if it was Champ Bailey or Darrelle Revis, you would say he baited the quarterback into throwing that football so he could break on it. He played off, waiting for the quarterback to throw it, and he jumped. Man, look at this. One step, went right in on the quarterback. He had cushion, went right in, jumped in. That's a great play.
It is, but I've got to tell you, Sampson, if he doesn't stop his route, he's going to make that catch in front of the defender, Roll. He stopped the route. Roll took advantage of it. He ran the route, makes the interception, and the rookie out of Catawba gets the interception for the touchdown. Was he down? And that's what I think is going to be looked at. Well, that's what the officials, every scoring play is reviewed. So they're going to make sure that this is indeed a touchdown, that he was not touched before he got up and ran his way into the end zone. More on Roll. He was a D2 All-American. Picked up by the Bills as an undrafted free agent coming out this season. Last year he had a nice season at Catawba, had 56 tackles and 6 interceptions, but here's another guy from a small school who has showed up here today.
Well, it's all about your athleticism. When you get to the small school Division II, Division III, if you're a good enough athlete, they're going to give you a chance to show yourself in the National Football League. You run a 40-yard dash, you do some physical testing, they send you to the combine or whatever, and particularly if you have a productive year at the lower levels, you're going to get a chance to show yourself at this level, and some of these guys are definitely good enough to play. Now, there's no question on this interception there was contact.
Yeah, I think he's going to be down by contact. Let's take another look at it. This one, I think the Bills' offense will get a chance to punch this one in. Contact was made.
Now, was the contact made before he caught the football, before he had possession?
He's got the ball right there, and the leg is on him. He's down by contact.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, too. Here's the thing, too. It's not a catch until he hits the ground. You have to touch him when
he has possession, and that's. I guess it depends on the interpretation of the rule.
If they're going to give Jeff Toole a fumble on the hand going forward, this should be a touchdown.
This should be a touchdown by all rights. But which means, of course, it'll not be a touchdown.
Well, we have no chance of being right. Look at this. You see the haircuts. There was a rookie hazing incident.
Apparently.
And he's not the only one. Now, Roll, you see that atrocity on top of his head.
I thought the pads in his helmet may have worn his hair out.
No, there are other guys that you see guys, even if it's a hot day, they're keeping their helmets on. It's not because of the shade. They got the clippers out for the rookies, did the veterans, and
they blindfolded the guy, obviously, with the clipper and set him loose.
Yeah, look at that. You see there. You see there. That's Jonathan Meeks with almost a nice full head of hair. As he turns in profile, he doesn't want.
Yeah, he's hiding it.
He's hiding it.
If he turns his head,
if he turns his head just a hair, you might get a chance to see what.
There it comes.
There, yes.
That's what you call half a haircut.
Yeah.
I've had a few of those in my day.
Yeah.
and not intentionally.
Now that's an award winner right there. I'm telling you what, Jamal Roll got a winner right there. That's
what are they going to do to these guys if they were to fix that up? Like, I look like that, I'm shaving the rest of my head.
Well, I think that's part of the deal. If you're going to get that, you got to kind of hang in there for a game. You know?
Yeah, because then they're going to finish you off.
See, there's another. Well, there you go. There's our guy.
A half a haircut.
There's Meeks. There's the other side of Meeks' profile, which looks a little bit more like Otis Sistrunk, if you remember that. I mean,
yes, I do.
He's completely bald, and that's at least they got the line straight on Meeks, you know.
Jeff Triplett agrees with you.
Got the ball, had to complete the catch, and was not touched down after completing the catch, so he could get up and advance the football for the touchdown.
The process wasn't complete.
He caught the ball after the contact, but it's not a catch until he hits the ground and rolls over with it and gets up, just like a receiver.
So how about that? 43 points now for the Bills with 5:01 left in this ball game, and Ryan Lindell looking to tack on another. And the defense scores. That was their third takeaway of this ball game.
Defense scored, special teams scored, and of course the offense scored as well. We have not had a rushing touchdown, have the Buffalo Bills, but other than that, it's been pretty productive.
I'm sure Coach Marone will point that out. And the extra point from Lindell is good. And so with that, the Bills take the 24-point lead, 44-20 over the Colts here in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Bills preseason opener. And a lot of people are going to be excited about this Doug Marone coached youthful football team.
Well, they've done a lot of good things. They've gotten a lot of production in this let's face it now. Let's pump the brakes just for a second.
All right.
This is their first outing, and they've gotten a lot of production from all their first-year players that have been involved in the game plan. E.J. Manuel certainly looked mature, patient, poised, made some great throws. Jeff Toole, likewise, they've had a very efficient day throwing the football. Didn't turn it over except for the questionable fumble in the pocket on a nice rush by the Colts. They got great kick returning, not only to midfield on one kickoff, but a 107-yard return. And on the kickoff coverage teams, they've absolutely crushed the Colts with their kickoff coverage. And their defense has now scored a defensive touchdown, gotten a sack from Mario Williams, and done some really nice things in the secondary. I mean, it's just been an incredibly productive day for the Bills on all counts.
A record-setting day. I'll get to more on that after this Lindell kickoff. It falls to Williams at the 2. Finds a seam, stumbles, and gets knocked at the 20-yard line. Chris White, his third special teams tackle of the day. I mentioned that record. This is a Bills preseason points record. It previously was 35 points. That was done back in 2011, a couple years ago, and then 3 other times. This 44-point barrage is a new record for the Buffalo Bills in preseason. Not a bad debut for Coach Marone.
Well, you look back on it, depending on which way it goes for Marone and this Buffalo Bills team, you look back and see this is either a signal of what was to come or an aberration. But I think given the youthful nature of the roster, you got to think it spells good things for the future.
Well, that's what I think. Harnish throws it outside, incomplete, as Jeremy Kelly can't quite gather it in. As the Bills play some more defense, Don Unamba, the rookie out of South Arkansas, makes the play. Second down and 10. Bills line up in the 4-man front. 2 safeties deep. Handed off to the inside, and busting outside is Davin Meggett. And Meggett gets run out by Kip Edwards.
And Kip Edwards covered some ground coming from the far side of the formation, runs all the way across. You see coming up, look how fast he closes on this all the way, ran him down. That was a nice play by Edwards, staying with it and running through traffic and finding the ball carrier on the far sideline.
3rd down and 3. Bills are showing the blitz a little bit here. I think they're going to come off of the left side, and they do. And that one gets batted down
by one of those blitzers, Marcus Doughton.
That was a zone blitz. They pulled out. Eyes on Cross, number 76, a defensive tackle, did not rush. He pulled out into coverage at 350 pounds. Watch as Cross is going to come up and then drop back out, and these guys are all going to come from the other side. And watch as it takes shape, and this is what confuses a young quarterback. You see, they start to head out already for coverage, and that confused the quarterback. He tried to get rid of it, and it was batted down.
Yeah, he had the wrong protection on. He needed to switch his protection pre-snap. Wasn't able to do it as Roby makes the fair catch back on his own 15-yard line as McAfee, in his 7th punt of the day, bombs a 58-yarder. So the Bills will get the ball back at their own 16 here. Coming up with 4:33 to go. Buffalo 44-20. Might as well score again. I can imagine what Doug Marone's saying. Might as well finish this thing.
And then, if you're going to do this and treat it like a practice game, you're going to have Jeff Toole start to work the 4-minute offense and start to have guys stay in bounds. You're going to have to make sure you cover the football, get first downs, do everything you can. You might even start to huddle up, and if they do huddle up, that'll be a tip-off that they indeed are going to try and run the clock down. But
can't imagine a huddle, but you do have 2 backs in the backfield and a tight end in the game, so that's certainly a running formation as Gaskin will take it off the left side and give Gaskins a couple of yards.
That's
as Caesar Rayford makes that tackle.
That's a heavy package. You got the tight end, the 2 backs, and you're going to punch it up inside the tackles, and you may let your quarterback throw it on 3rd down, but then again, this is also one of those times when you think, you know what, just run the offense. Don't worry. Let's learn what we can learn. We got guys we're going to evaluate. You got these new offensive linemen in there. Let them do some. Let's see them in some pass protection.
Great play action bootleg formation as well because of the runs out of it. Here's a 2nd and 9. Nice time to do that. The whole 3rd string offensive line in the ball game as they're trying to make way for Gaskins, and they do not. Loss of a couple. Loss of 1 on this play to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
And this is this is a place where you got to get some yardage back, but you also, and your play selection isn't exactly what it would be in the regular season. First of all, because you know your opponent so much better than the Bills know the Colts. And it's also a question of wanting to evaluate guys on the field. You want to give them a play. You want to see them in a situation that you need them to be good in.
Yes.
You want to see them in a situation that puts them under duress.
Can you run when they know you're going to run?
Right.
That's the question.
Can we run it when they know we need to run it?
And we push it off the left side with a 3rd consecutive Gaskins attempt. He'll get 4 or 5, but not enough for a first down.
And that is that's a 3-touchdown lead drive right there. 3 runs off the left side. Let's punt it away.
As the clock winds down, going under 2:50 left here in the ball game. Bills with a 24-point lead, and some great performances by some of their younger players here today on defense. Kiko Alonso was all over the field in his time out there. Nigel Bradham made some plays. We saw some good things out of them today.
Yeah, a lot of good things. A lot of good things out of the entire defense.
The corners, Brooks and Gilmore, were very solid. I thought Aaron Williams did a nice job, as did Cersei at safety. As this punt is pinned along the sidelines from Stahovic, and I'll tell you what, Asante Williams is keeping it working out there, a 48-yard punt, and Williams is able to dig it out for a 7-yard return.
There's a lot that goes on in the late moments, in the late quarters, and the late minutes of these games in the preseason, where guys get in for a handful of plays, where they get a chance to do 1 or 2 things, and their entire evaluation comes down to that handful of plays. And it's easy for fans and for veteran players on the sidelines to say, oh, come on, let's get out of here. But there are guys with careers on the line that have been made or broken in situations like this, late in preseason games.
Little screen pass to the right side, missed tackle, kept it alive. Brian Smith, the one-year man out of Notre Dame, misses it, and Corbin Bryant comes in and cleans it up as we are now down to the 2-minute warning. With the score, Buffalo 44, Indianapolis 20. 2 minutes left. We'll take a network timeout and come back. Guide Steve Tasker here at Lucas Oil Stadium as the Bills have played well. And our Blue Rock Energy player of the game didn't play it down. We're going to give it to the coach, Doug Marrone. He's deserving after this one.
Yeah, it's tough to imagine a better debut, even though it's a preseason game. The team came out and played disciplined. They had the key rookies that people are looking to play well, were very well prepared and played extremely well, and could tell they were well coached.
No doubt. Harnish fits one into Sembrano, and he gets brought down at the Bills' 35-yard line. Colts getting some work here on their 2-minute offense. Little twist move up front, and that creates a passing lane, which Harnish finds and gets it to Lanier Sampson. Tackle on the play by Chris White, who has been a demon on special teams today. And Coach Marrone, he really liked the camp that Chris White has put together.
Yeah, he also said that most of the special team slots that they're looking to fill are going to come from the defensive side of the football, so it's going to be crucial for these guys to continue to play well. As there you see a penalty coming up, probably to Jamal Roll. Didn't look like a penalty to me, but now you say call him on a hold.
Pressure came in on that one, and the pass almost got tipped away on the late blitz in the backfield.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 41.
There you go.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, it was before the pass, so we didn't get a chance to see it there. So those penalties, continue to be the one thing of the preseason that are unpredictable and yet so predictable that at some point you're going to have a rash of them. And I didn't bring it up during the entire game because I knew if we said something about how clean the game was being played,
jinx ourselves.
We'd be here we'd be here till 9 o'clock tonight playing this game.
So it gives the Colts a first down at the spot of the infraction, 24-yard line of Buffalo. Harnish, with things closing in around him, gets it out, and it's caught, but the hit is made immediately. Sampson makes the grab, and there was a timeout now taken as Dangerfield makes the tackle on the play. Time now for our Kumho Tire drive of the game. This came back in the second quarter as Kumho Tire presents you the drive of the game. You get a $50 rebate plus a free Bills cap with the purchase of 4 Kumho brand tires only at Dunn Tire. You see the numbers, the 10-play drive. That first reception was by Choice. Woods caught one, and this leads to the Dickerson touchdown grab, the longest longest pass of the day from E.J. Manuel, a 15-yarder, to put the Bills up 20-13 there in the second quarter. Kumho Tires, play of the game, drive of the game. Second down at 6 here at Colts. Harnish gets hit big time on the backside. That one goes incomplete. Kip Edwards brings the corner blitz. Nobody picked him up. Nobody saw him, and he just plastered Harnish.
Yeah, that was a good blitz. And if Harnish waits even for a split second, that pass goes fluttering right up here, coming right off the slot receiver, right into the quarterback's backside.
Did a nice job of
he
avoiding a
low.
penalty.
Yeah, he didn't duck his helmet. He hit him face up and pushed him with his hands. That was a nice hard shot and a clean shot.
A little how do you do. Harnish from the pocket, throws it to the outside, 7 route, incomplete, overshoots his man, Lanier Sampson.
Yes, that's on the receiver for me. That ball was right where it needed to be, ahead of the defenders. Sampson cut his route off before the pylon. They call this a corner route for a reason. The corner is in the corner of the end zone. Sampson run his route halfway between the goal line. You see there, he didn't even expect the ball to be there.
That's egregious. Good coverage over there by the Bills secondary.
The guy's got a chance to catch that if he sees the football coming down, and even if the defenders are there, that's a missed opportunity.
Fourth down. Overshot. Harnish just throws this one a little too high, and Edwards is coming off the edge again. Had himself another quarterback pressure.
That's one of the things about this Bills defense we've seen today. Mike Pettin, the defensive coordinator, he's dialed up some pressure.
Yes, he has.
A lot of teams don't do that in the preseason. I think one of the reasons the Bills are doing it, one, is to get it in and let guys run it in live action. The other is I think it's going to be such a big part of what they do. Even though it looks exotic, I think it's pretty much a basic stuff that they're doing. Doug Marrone told us they ran some stuff in this game because teams have seen his teams run them before.
Sure.
Even though they may look exotic, it's something they've seen his teams run wherever he's been. So they know he's going to put it in. So they'll run that even though it may look exotic. And that's the same with Mike Pettin. There are certain things they're going to run, and if they do look exotic, even so, you're going to show them, they know you got it. So
yeah, you have to
it.
get your reps on your stuff. I always thought that was kind of bizarre, where you have a practice game, so to speak, then you need to practice your game. Don't do other stuff or things that you're not going to do. Jeff Toole, by the way, favorite play of a quarterback, takes a couple kneel downs as the clock winds down, and the Bills come out swinging here in their preseason opener, and the knockout blow is delivered to the Indianapolis Colts, 44-20.
Very nice way to start off this preseason and to get your first win under your belt. As you get out, you end up scoring 44 points on the road in Indianapolis against a team that was in the playoffs a year ago. Says a lot about your roster. There's no question the Bills showed some athleticism today. They showed some heart and really some focus and some ability to say, hey, some opportunities came up and they snagged them. I mean, they seized some opportunities that you see teams that are just in the early part of the preseason, a lot of times they're just not ready for. This team was ready to play today.
Indeed they were, and it manifests on that scoreboard. The Buffalo Bills come out with a 44-20 win over the Indianapolis Colts here at Lucas Oil Stadium to get the preseason going. And we will take a network timeout right now, and we will come back here to Indianapolis to wrap things up. The Bills win 44-20 over the Colts.